You'd open it up. All right, it's 6:30, folks. We all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Before we get started, is there any other bookkeeping related things that you want to do before we move into the next full session, day, whatever?
Me.
We've already discussed. You guys went to the pit. You went on your various little own adventures. Had your first taste of operative nightlife, and so what are you guys doing as far as like what's your workload planning on being? Are you trying to get it in like every day, every couple days? Like how long between the end of the last between your run-in with the 9th Division and today is it? How many days off did you take?
I mean, if we went to the pit, probably the next day, none of us would feel like going out.
Probably not.
Just based on what everyone wrote. So,
Right.
At least not the next day.
I'm good to go. I haven't even slept yet. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think Raukka's probably itching to go, but doesn't really know how to say it.
Right.
He just really wants to punch something.
And usually an armor repair session takes about 2 to 4 hours, so Reggie's probably spent the better part of a day just fixing up your Raukka's and Silver's shit. And then Raukka, you had to take it to a pro because Reggie just couldn't work it out.
Yeah,
so you're probably talking about a whole day of just repairing your gear, buying your new shit, like buying your extra ammo, doing like whatever else you're doing, your extra drugs. And then, so we're probably looking at like, would it be safe to say like 2 to 3 days? We'll say 3 days. So we'll say, you dallianced at the pit, that night through probably that morning because you probably spent longer there than any of you had probably planned on doing it. Day to recover, day to resupply, and now we're back a few days later, and you are back at, I presume you're going to go back to the Mort Central BPN Hall, is that correct? Or are you going to try and go to one of the smaller downtown, or the smaller, like, suburbia or uptown halls? I assume you're not going to hit a downtown terminal. What have you, what's the squad planning on doing?
I think for our first few missions, going to the hall would be the best idea. Playing straight by the book.
Gotcha.
I mean, that was where Patch is coming from.
Gotcha.
I'm telling you, lads, only 3 operatives have died from the terminal on me block. It's fine.
Now, is that from using the terminal on your block? Diseases they caught later from using the terminal on your block?
Don't worry about it. I'll keep you safe.
No one washes their hands or claws.
All right, so you head back to the BPN hall because again, this is your second time out. It's where you feel comfortable. That being said, despite it being only your second time there, the vibe's already different. The things that seemed exciting and new about this place when you guys all went through your orientation now feel more like obstacles or time wasters. The countless squad names that go across the signboards serve to remind you of the upcoming wait you have for your next mission. Reggie goes up, registers the squad in the BPN queue, and the 5 of you sit and you wait.
Patch would have brought a book this time.
Okay.
So they're prepared.
Okay, so Patch cracks open a book while you sit in the seats. It takes you a little bit to find even a few chairs that are next to each other, but eventually you find 3 open seats for the 5 of you.
I stand. I say, I'm changing my name to Redcap, so call me that now.
That's fine.
Okay.
I respect your decision.
Thanks.
What was your name?
Is there a pronoun change or just the name?
Just the name. Stormers have no genitalia, so no balls. I don't know what genitalia are.
Raukka, you would recognize the name Redcap as a contract killer who recently was slain at a circuit event, and probably within the past couple days or so, Third Eye News had some information on it, and you might have even been watching the fight in which it happened.
Okay. Does that seem like it's in poor taste to like assume somebody's name, or do I think that's cool?
I don't think you would think it would be in poor taste necessarily.
Okay. So I'm probably a little jealous.
You didn't think of it first.
Yeah.
You can still scalp people if you want.
No, I'll probably just keep punching him.
Okay. Yeah, that was his signature finisher was the scalp.
Yeah,
his
I know.
opponent. I'm telling Paul because I made it up off the top of my head like 10 minutes ago.
I am a real
I think
fan.
Reggie would probably be looking it up, like looking up who he is.
Okay, yeah,
on his little
you
device.
you crack open your clamshell, and player portraits. That's the problem. You crack open your clamshell and you pull up footage of the incident. A contract killer by the name of Sir Nigel Hatred has managed to avoid a chain axe swing by Redcap, and then used a vibro saber to just take off the top half of his face, essentially, almost with kind of like a fencing grace, sort of, and then puts it away and walks off.
Oh. Violent.
Yes,
It was
yes,
awesome.
the contract
Yeah,
circuit is violent.
First, Shrek is just going to slob squat in our little corner of the area, get out his power claymore, take his laser sharpener to it, pull out his Clippo lighter, and start heating up a can of whatever passes for spam,
Okay.
and roll the progress.
Okay. So you're enjoying yourself. You're enjoying yourself some breakfast, as it were.
Yeah, I didn't have time to
I was
eat.
about to say. So is it breakfast? What time of the day would you convene there?
Patch would have been trying to get there bright and early. I don't know about the rest of the crew.
Well,
Reggie
I-
definitely would be up bright and early. He's excited.
Yeah.
I probably got like 2 hours of sleep, so I'd be awake at the time,
Okay.
and I have to take the train or whatever to get here from downtown.
Okay. So you're all pretty much convening fairly early in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So you're all on the same page there, at least. So that's good. Again, it seems like you can never get here early enough to beat the morning rush, at least from the first 2 times you've been here. But after kind of mulling around, discussing the life and death of Redcap, and then looking up the evidence of evidence of his demise, and then reading whatever topic you're reading up on, Patch. Eventually, after a couple hours, your name, Raukka Raukka Put Raukka, does appear on the operative boards, signaling Reggie that it is time for you to choose your BPN.
Makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Don't get lost.
All right. So you go up, you head over to the agent's office for your BPN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you go in and you sit down at the desk of a woman in her probably mid-30s, human, dark hair tied back into a ponytail underneath her cap. She tacks on her keyboard, pulls up your information, hits a few more things, and then a couple cards pop out. And, hey, getting more comfortable with Roll20? I can do this stuff now, so let me go ahead and share the handout with you of each of these. So the first one that comes up is this one.
Oh, that's.
Can you see it
That
on this
was
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same one as before, I think.
No, it is different. It's a blue, but it's...
Oh.
They all look the same to you already at this point. And
Well, no, because it was a similar. It's similar to one that you had shown before.
yeah, again, blues
Earlier.
are pretty interchangeable, so it's not terribly surprising that you This one looks like. So do you say that to her? It's like, hey, I got this one already, or do you just keep that to yourself?
No, I think I just would have absentmindedly been like, oh, this looks similar to the last one.
Yeah,
You do that.
and she kind of comes across. She's like, it's a blue. They're pretty much all the same. Numbers are different. Maybe there's a little bit here and there, but maintenance is maintenance. Luckily, while you're looking through and kind of not really, potentially dreading or not the idea of some sewer maintenance, there is another one that spits out shortly after that. And she looks over to it and she's like, well, looks like you got a choice at least. She holds that one up and puts it down in front of you.
Wait, can I see both of them at the same time? Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Gotta be smarter than to think. Okay.
Technology.
You know what? I think my team would appreciate and have more fun with this second one here, the white one. I think that our team is well suited to that. That should be fun.
She
Let's do
shrugs.
that.
She shrugs. She's like, okay. She takes back the blue and just tosses it in a bin next to her with a whole other stack of like BPN cards that are meant for recycling or reissue or whatever. And then she says, "All right." She punches it in. She's like, "You're good to go."
Yeah. Thank you.
You get up. And you walk away from the desk, and then you
Yeah.
go out to the remainder of the group.
I excitedly run up to the group and I'm like, I think I picked a good one. I share.
Oh, really?
Can they see it?
Yep. I've gone ahead and shared it with them.
So operatives to investigate explosion in downtown district 2248. Cause of explosion and any suspects involved are to be investigated. I think explosions and stuff would be interesting and should lead to some fun times. Let's see what's going on.
2-2, is that like where I live?
You live in level 2, so yes, but again, level 2 is the size of a city, so it's up to you whether or not it's close to your number. I don't think you ever specifically gave me the designation, but it's on the same level.
Ah, alright. Nichols.
You pass
Well,
around.
Okay.
You pass around the BPN to the group. Fair Shrek looks it over. Patch, Raukka, Redcap, anything?
Pay's not the best, but hey, it's probably better than nothing.
The pay's better than the other one. That's why I picked it too.
Well, then I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like I was looking out for you guys.
Raukka, the BPN comes your way. Any thoughts?
He probably holds it upside down first,
Okay.
and then fixes it, trying not to look embarrassed. There's not going to be any news on this one?
There could be an explosion, I'd assume. There's probably cameras.
Yeah,
You
third
can call
eye.
your friend and see if she wants to cover it.
Well, the official selection for the VPN does note that this is going to be covered by station analysis and not Third Eye. So station analysis is the internal observation for SLA Industries. Whether or not they're going to actually be watching you or not is another question entirely. But any potential cameras or feedback or whatever that you may get would be from them. So usually in these situations, whether it's because they don't think it'll be interesting enough or because they think it'll be too interesting, Third Eye News tends to stay out of ones that are marked for station analysis.
Oh, okay. I, for some reason, was switching which was selected and which one wasn't.
Yes,
So-
black is selected, white is not.
It's been a long day at work.
No worries.
Oh, in that case, the pay is better than I thought.
Yeah. So I think Raukka drops the bravado a little bit, not because it's a front, but like seeing station analysis on there tells him he should be on his best behavior,
Okay.
and he hands the card back.
Okay. Silver.
I guess I don't hand it to Redcap because I think he's made it clear he doesn't really read.
Okay.
Read.
Okay, Redcap. Yeah, it's everybody else looks it over, and then Reggie just takes it and puts it in his little coat pocket.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have your assignment. What's your first move?
What do you want me to do, Reggie?
Well, let's think about this. What can we all do? I'd like to maybe look into this a little, see what info I can find out before we go there. Is this a thing where like they're going to take us there, or we go there ourselves?
There is no designation. Yeah, there's no designation for a vehicle pool meetup, so it seems like the BPN is letting you get there through your own means.
Okay. I assume we have a means of transferring there.
It's always the bus or public transportation of variety.
Will they let me on the bus?
Okay.
Sure. You're an operative. Hell yeah, they'll let you on the bus.
Yeah, just flash
We're
out.
doing fine. Only
Make sure
one
my badge
person
is
got out this morning.
displayed.
What's that, Perry?
Make sure my badge is displayed where everybody can see it.
I mean, honestly, if you're carrying and walking around in body blocker armor, I think they're probably just going to assume that you are an operative.
Yeah,
That's the thing is that yes, you definitely are. There is definitely prejudice against you and whatnot. But again, the fact that you are an operative puts you at a class above the vast majority of society still. So while you may be the bottom rung amongst other operatives or anybody above, you are still, the top level of society. And if anyone outwardly shows you disrespect that isn't of your your security clearance, then you can handle that how you see fit.
all right.
So am I able to like look into further as far as like any more information that I can find through my
Sure. What information are you looking to gain?
computer? Like when this explosion happened, like what the location like it looks like, or what kind of area it's in, like that kind of thing.
Okay. So the
Neighborhood look.
was that Raukka?
What's the neighborhood look like? You mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the explosion itself took place in a residential tenement building. The section 2248 is part of the residential sectors of level 2. They are broken out into apartment buildings that go by letters for designations. This one was in what's known as or apartment or block D. So it was an apartment in block D. It was designated as a one-person apartment, and it was registered to a Terrence Woolforth.
Okay. Can I find out any information about Terrence?
So are you doing this just in the BPN hall, or are you trying to set up a trip down there, or just so I know?
I just kind of wanted to see if there was some preliminary info I could find out before
Okay.
we head down
So
there,
you're-
just so I kind of knew what we're walking into.
Okay,
and
so
then
you're-
we'll transport down there.
Got it. So you're in the hall right now. So you're basically just like sitting there, laptop out, working.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do some searching through databanks for Terrence Woolforth, and to the best of your knowledge, you cannot find anything on him or anyone
Can
by
I-
that name.
Can I roll a streetwise?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and when we roll, it's our rank +1, correct?
Yeah, so the success die first, and then your rank +1. And then add in your bonus to that.
Okay, so that is a 10, a 6, an 11, and a 13.
Okay. You've never heard that name before. It doesn't ring any bells as far as any sort of affiliation. So, you think about the sector, and you kind of know some people who are from kind of around there. Maybe not exactly that specific sector number, but kind of in the neighborhood. No one named Terrence Wolforth.
Is that normal not to find anything?
What's that?
Is that normal not to find anything?
I mean, if they're an unremarkable person, then they may not have any records on them, especially if there's somebody who lives in downtown. If they don't have a criminal record, and they don't have employment currently, which vast swaths of Mort City citizenry are unemployed, it's entirely possible that there's just no record on him, or that whatever records there were have been lost in some sort of fashion. So, not terribly uncommon. Although, again, having an explosion come from his place may indicate that he is more important, but you can't find anything at this time.
Okay.
Would my hacking community be able to help me find out info? And I imagine that would, if that was possible, it would take longer than like 5 seconds.
Yeah, if you're trying to put out feelers to people to try and get some information back as far as that person goes, yes, you can ask around. That will take some time. So I don't know if you want to try and do that now and then get an answer back later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or like while we're like traveling there, I can just be kind of working on that.
Okay, gotcha. Now, even though this is, you are... I don't know if I should make this a computer roll or something more charisma-based to do that.
Yeah, I was like, is it computer? Maybe...
Let me see.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to tell because you're actually trying to get information from people at this point. So,
right.
Honestly, this is probably going to be an interrogate roll. For this, because you're trying to get information. However, what I will do is I will let you use your computer. I'll let you... how do I want to do this? Because, let's see, interrogate is cool-based. So rather than it being cool-based, so instead of getting the bonus based off of your cool, I will let you get the bonus based off of your concentration. Now, I don't believe you have anything in interrogate. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so this will be an unskilled roll, but the way it's going to work is you'll roll 1 success die plus 1 skill die, and you'll add in your concentration, so that's going to be plus 6. So you roll 2 d10s. Okay, so that's what you get. Okay, so you're spending your time doing that. We'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
All right. So you dig up that information. You put out feelers to message boards. You know it's probably going to take a little bit to hear back from anybody about this. So,
yeah.
but you plant the seeds.
I figured I kind of do that, and then as we're traveling,
Yep.
I know that it's going to take longer than like a few minutes. So
sure. Okay. Anyone else taking any preliminary steps? Raukka, it sounded like you were trying to get something in there.
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. Patch for Shrek.
No, I was trying to think of ways to get downtown faster, but really, I think we're kind of low means, so taking the bus is pretty much our main option.
Yeah, so your main methods of transportation, you can get either by subway, Gauss train, vehicle, obviously, so taxi, anything like that, or the cheapest option in that it is free for operatives. is using what are known as shift blocks, which are basically just basically it's like a combination of a waiting room and an elevator. So they file about 100 people or so into these basically way stations, and then the whole room just shifts down lower levels to get down. It is the slowest method, but it is free. Any other methods of transportation, well, you're not going to break the bank, would cost more. So that's going to be up to you to decide what you want to take.
I don't mind taking the bus or the train. I just want to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
It's
looking
fine.
to try and get the quickest means of public transportation possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right at that level of cheap, but also
Okay,
speedy. So because time is sort of the essence,
sure. Okay,
This is the most money
Right.
I've ever had in my life.
but we're not going to pay too much for the privilege of getting there.
okay. Well, fortunately, from the BPN hall in Mort Central, there are some Gauss trains that are running to the various sectors. That is going to be your quickest form of public transportation. That is going to be 2 credits per person.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Which would be wildly expensive for anyone who wasn't an operative, but for you folk, it's not cheap, but it's a couple drinks at the pit. You spent 10 credits there each last time around, so comparatively seems like a bargain. Okay, so you hop on the train. Again, because this one's coming from Mort Central, it's mostly other operatives. No executives really have any fucking reason to go to downtown, except for maybe a couple who are, owners or marketing representatives for some of the factories down there. So you may have a couple suits that are interspersed, but it's primarily some other people in armor heading to different areas to investigate their BPNs, just like you are. It takes you probably about 20 minutes total to get to the Gauss train station down there. From there, it's probably about another 15-20 minutes of walking to get to the area of the crime scene. But you make it over there, and you get ready to head inside. So, describing the crime scene, as you approach the residential sector of the district, the sectors are, again, as I mentioned, comprised of tenement blocks. They're given letters to designate them from others. This one's Block D, just as a reminder. This is where the explosion took place. The apartment that the explosion took place in is on the 3rd floor. The block itself isn't any more or less squalid than any other downtown tenement, but the crime scene itself, when you go into the apartment, it looks like a bomb had gone off in there, even if a bomb hadn't gone off in there. The room is Spartan in terms of furnishings, with only a desk and a cot to speak of. The remainder of the space is piled up with discarded paper, empty Zaz energy drink cans, the remaining contents of which stick to your boots as you walk across the floor. You get the sense that this room is a goldmine of information if you had any idea what the fuck you were looking for. In addition, you see that the source of the explosion, there is probably about a 2-foot hole in the wall next to the door, on the opposite side of the room from where the desk and the cot are, where there is kind of like a pile of shrapnel and parts that has been kind of scattered over the room, and it's the only bare spot on the floor, which the floor has been damaged but not blown through. So just by your kind of initial assessment, it appears that the explosion was loud enough to cause attention, or big enough to cause attention, but not big enough to do any serious damage.
I'm assuming this is cheap construction where it's all stonework or block type deal. Yeah.
Drywall on the inside, masonry of varying levels of quality on the outside. Doors are basically a little more than particle board, if that. So, and the just kind of drywall for the walls that have, piping and electrical conduits running through them. And you can see that some of the pipes have been cracked, bent. They could have been like that before you got there, though.
Any windows?
There is one window because this is a one-room apartment that has a view of the outside. There is an air conditioning unit that is stuffed in the top.
Is the window intact or is it blown out?
Window is has some slight cracks in it, but it is intact.
Okay. So Patrick, go right over. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No, you can... Oh, I have some a little bit of skill in forensics, so I'm wondering if I can spend some time looking around and trying to see what I can find, as far as like the source. You know, what might have caused this explosion? If there's any like info
Okay.
about the guy who lived here, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you're starting to check out the scene from a forensics perspective. Patch, what are you doing?
I was going to do forensics as well, but I was going to concentrate just around like where the blast radius was.
Okay.
To see if there was any indication of what exploded. Like if it was like a man-made device, if it was like if it was some type of munition or some type of like homemade bomb that someone was making, or a pressure cooker that had been left on too long.
Okay. For sure.
Hey, friends. Does anyone else have demolitions?
Nope. So you might want to.
Nope.
Take the lead.
Can I roll intelligence demolitions to see what we're working with here?
So
Hold on.
Okay, so we have people who are trying to look at this from a forensics perspective and from a demolitions perspective. So I would say, for Shrek, because you have knowledge of explosives, anything that has any information regarding it being intact or whatnot, like if there was like an intact device, you would have expertise in that. In terms of determining what kind of explosion this was, you'll probably have a similar findings to either Patch or Reggie because they have higher forensics. So I would say the three of you are kind of tackling it from that perspective. One of you make the roll, and the others will be supporting, which I will give, because there's three of you helping, you have relative skills and expertise in it. I will give whoever makes the roll a +2 to the success die.
Also, I will be taking whatever food is left in this apartment.
Okay. There is actually no food, other than some discarded pizza crusts on the floor. There is actually no food here. So, but let's discuss the explosion first, and then we can talk about the crime scene at greater length, unless, Raukka, Redcap, are you examining it from that perspective?
Yeah.
I'm staying out of the way.
Okay, so you're literally just standing out in the hallway.
I'm gonna go around to where the window would be and look outside.
Okay, so you are outside of the building?
Yeah, I don't want to disturb anything inside because I'm a big hulking dude. So.
Okay, so yeah, you stand outside with your 9-foot frame. You'd have trouble fitting in there anyways, and you get some looks. People kind of gawking at you, which at this point you're probably full and well used to. But you kind of stay outside the building and stand watch. Raukka, what are you doing?
So I have this straight. Where is the hole in relation?
The hole is if you were walking into the apartment itself, it is like to the left of the doorway. So it's like just like a hole that was blown out through there, and then again like it's dented the wall like in the opposite corner of where like the door would come in, but it didn't go clean through it. The walls separating the apartment are a little bit hardier, like sheetrock construction as opposed to just pure drywall. So it cracked it, but it did not blow straight through it, which may help, may give some indication in regards to the placement of the explosives as well.
Okay, so I think Raukka is like staring at the hole.
Okay.
And probably reaching behind him to where he remembers Reggie was standing and grabbing at something and then pulling whoever he gets. And he points to it and he says, "What's that look like in the other apartments? Is there something there?"
Maybe we could check.
Okay.
Ask him.
Yeah, so Patch, for Shrek and Reggie are examining that. Patch suggested that you check with the neighbors.
All right, I go and knock on the door.
Okay. So you go to knock on the
I'm
door.
just picturing
Sure. Yep. So
opening the door.
while Raukka goes to investigate, why don't one of you give me that forensics check, or forensic / explosive / whoever makes it check.
Do you want me to make that, or?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Okay. And I got +5, so no, but I've got 2 success. I failed on the check, but I've got 2 of the other ones.
Well, keep in mind that for skill rolls, 10 is not the default. It can vary.
So yeah, 9.
Yep.
13 and 15.
Okay. So based off of that, the three of you,
And the +2.
yes,
Oh,
exactly.
And the +2 as
Yep.
well, right?
So that's true as well. So the three of you kind of congregate, and for Shrek's knowledge of explosives and your two's knowledge of forensics and crime scene investigation, you determined that this was some sort of handmade device that was detonated. Either whether it was intentionally detonated or went off by accident, that's a little difficult to tell. But this wasn't just something that, like, accidentally, this wasn't something that was like, something unintentional. This was something that was built to blow up that exploded in this room. Raukka, you go and you knock on the door next to the apartment, and Guy opens it up, probably in his mid-40s, a little heavy set. He cracks the door open, sees you, and slams it closed. What do you do?
Well, I kind of expected that, but I knock again and I say "Slay," kind of sheepishly.
Okay. The door kind of cracks back open again. You have, like, your SCL badge held up.
Hi.
You guys like, yeah. What do you want?
You mind if I take a look at your door?
Huh?
The inside.
Okay. And he, like, steps back and, like, lets the door, like, kind of swing open.
So now my chest puffs up a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty important investigation I'm a part of. I can't really tell you much about it, but I take a look at the door. And I say, is there any reason somebody would want to blow up this part of the wall?
So you go and like look to, like, where this part of the wall, and you look, and the TV is running.
The TV.
It's like, no, I can't imagine why anyone would want to blow up their TV.
Me either. What do you like to watch?
Oh, I like to watch the Fire Dancer girls.
Okay.
Great drama.
Cool. I should probably get going.
Oh, okay.
I just walk away.
He, like, hurriedly closes the door behind you. You walk back into the apartment while the three of them are discussing the discovery that this was constructed explosive device.
I just yell, "Hey, that's where the TV's supposed to be!"
Raukka comes stomping down the hallway with that
Good job,
information.
Raukka. Okay.
Is that the only information you got?
I mean, yeah, that's what I was after.
Oh, did you ask, like, what happened, or?
When it happened?
Yeah, any?
Oh, oops.
That's alright.
Hold on.
We'll get to.
I run back over and knock on his door again.
All right. Yeah. So while he's going to interrogate, what do the three of you do?
If I'm done investigating that part of it, I kind of wanted to investigate if I could find out info about him, like from his paperwork and stuff that's scattered all over.
Okay. Patch for Shrek, what are you doing?
Dumb question. Is there a body?
No body.
Okay. I figured you would have mentioned it, but...
Oh, yeah, that guy right there. No, yeah, no body. It's fine.
Oh, by the way, we just tripped over someone on the way in. I forgot to mention that.
Although, honestly, some of the rubbish that's piled up in this room, a body could have realistically been probably hidden under it.
Double check if there's a body hidden under the garbage. Is there like an El Cheapo food joint in like the courtyard or like convenience store something nearby?
Yeah, there is definitely fast food places and convenience stores around that someone would feasibly be able to get food from. Again, there is no like refrigerator in this apartment, but based on your knowledge and your personal experience in downtown, some people just blow their paycheck on fast food and convenience store food and don't know how to or care how to cook for themselves.
It's a damn shame. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go to like the nearest convenience store. Did I see like the restaurant that had the pizza boxes nearby?
Yeah, you find on the boxes the name of a nearby pizza joint that you passed by on the way here, so you can go get information from them. Patch?
I was actually thinking something similar with food, of seeing if there was any left out food around the apartment that I could figure out a time frame of if there'd been someone here recently.
Okay.
So like any like half-eaten food that smelled like it hadn't been like touched in a couple hours, or how cold it is, or if they're basically putting a timeline together if there's might have been someone around here recently.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so we got, it looks like a handful, and Silver, you're still keeping watch outside?
Is there like a security guard hut or something?
No, there's no security nor cameras for this building, which again, for downtown, even inner downtown, is not completely out of the question. And even if there is security equipment, half the time it doesn't work. But you see where like the housing was for like the camera, but it is long since vanished, and it ain't there no more.
Okay, I guess I'll go ask if the neighbors what they saw, if anything.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with Reggie. Reggie, give me a detect roll to search through the notes and information in this apartment.
It's a 3, so if it's a 3, then it's 5.
Yes, success die, and then 4 skill die, so 5 total.
Like I know that, and then I just like.
I know it's still tough to get.
Like,
still tough to get a handle on.
Yeah, and it's the bonus is 9.
9's the bonus. Okay. So we've got a 14 for the success.
Mm-hmm.
And then. Okay. You said 9 was the bonus. Correct? Reggie?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you go ahead and you work your way through. So as you do, you pull up a variety of things. The first and most important, and we'll get to some of the other information later, is going to be the following. And give me 1 second. So going through the desk, you come across this. And while you're reading that over, and then while you are reading that over, Raukka, you go next door, and you try and get some additional information from the guy, just for the sake of keeping things moving along.
Yes.
He doesn't really have any more information about the guy next door, keeps to himself, heard an explosion early this morning. Probably he was still sleeping at that time. And then he got up, went to look to see what was going on, saw the hole, no one around, went back into his place, figured it wasn't his business, went back to bed.
So just like there was an explosion and then nothing happened after that?
Yep, that's it. Just the explosion.
Okay. Well, I say thanks and sorry I won't bother you again and go back over.
You close the door. He closes the door.
Yeah.
Fair Shrek, you go outside, and then Redcap, you see Fair Shrek come out, and he is headed towards the nearby pizza place to interview the people working there, presumably. Do you follow him, or do you stay where you're at?
I guess I'll follow him. Like lunchtime already?
Check in with the local pizza joint. For all I know, the delivery man might be this guy, the only socialization this guy had.
So I'll tag along then.
Lunch sounds good.
Okay, so Fair Shrek, you go into the pizza place with Redcap. Redcap, do you go inside, or do you stand outside again?
Yeah, I'll go inside.
Okay, so you step inside. So Frother and Stormer walk into a pizza place. You go up to the nervous cashier at the front, who looks probably no older than 18 years old. It's like, welcome to Speedy Pizza. What can I get for you?
Flash him my badge and then put down a credit for a pizza for me and my buddy. And at Slay Industries, we're here to investigate an explosion that happened in the neighborhood recently. Is there a chance I can see a record? Maybe talk to a couple of your delivery drivers?
The kid looks down nervously as you put your literal credit card on the counter, and he's like, I can answer your questions, but we don't take credits. We only take unis. So, for context purposes, credits are the things that are used by pretty much anyone, like Uptown, maybe Suburbia. Operatives get paid in it. Everybody else uses uni, which is paper cash. The exchange rate is 10 uni to 1 credit, so it's like a 10-to-1 exchange. Terminals and businesses in anything below Suburbia are not equipped to process credits. You're going to need to get hard cash at some point. But in any case, the pizza boy says that he's willing to help. He, again, kind of, moving through, keeping things moving along. He gives you some information regarding the delivery driver who comes back from a delivery. He's the one who would normally deliver to Block D. He tells you some information. He doesn't really know a lot about the guy there. He says that he orders something maybe once a week at most. He's seen the guy. He doesn't really have any information on him. He just knows that the name that's usually on the orders is Wolfforth. But he doesn't really have too much info on the guy. Always pays, never gives a hard time. Tips okay. Usually tips him a few unis on top of whatever, which not everybody here does. He gives the pizza, then goes on his way. That's the most information that anybody has on the guy at this particular place.
Well, thoughts that next payout I need to grab uni.
You'll be able to get
Because
there's exchange kiosks at Mort Central that you'll be able to process from. So if you want to trade those off later on, you'll be able to. Patch. So you go ahead and you actually try and look through from like a dining perspective. The food and stuff here is fairly dried out. Nothing smells particularly bad other than just kind of a general funk throughout the apartment itself, which at this point smells more like gunpowder than anything else. So at this point, It looks like most of the food here is fairly stale, and anything that was discarded, like I said, it's mostly pizza crusts. Everything else in terms of rubbish is, like parts or notes or whatever. The crust probably are at least more than 3 days old, could be, upon weeks or so. So it doesn't seem like, based on the food consumption, that anyone has been here very recently.
Okay, that's what I was.
Yeah. Okay, and as you're going through that stuff, you see Reggie looking at kind of like a worn, kind of a weathered piece of paper. As you kind of complete your investigation.
You find anything, Reggie?
I just sent out a message to everyone. Guys, we have a problem. A big problem. This is obviously way more of an issue than I thought. This guy had planned this and left this letter with clues to try to figure out where the other bombs are that are going to be set off. So that was, I think, just to lure us here to figure out his crazy plans. So I show.
The cameras were on us tonight.
Does everybody have the letter in front of them on their Roll20 so they can all see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and read that over. I have to step away very quickly. I will be right back. If you want to have some preliminary discussions, feel free, but if it's anything of note, you'll want to save it for me.
Does the stream have the letter up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll obviously show this to you, and whenever the other guys come back, show it to them. Obviously, it's some kind of puzzle.
Yeah, I know. I'll just read it out loud for everybody. To whom it may concern, this letter is meant for whatever operative, squad, or shiver unit that has been tasked with investigating this scene. There are a number, and that's in red. The word letter was in blue, which is probably part of the code. There are a number of clues that I'm about to provide, and how well you are able to decipher them will determine how many lives are saved or lost as a result of your detective work. As I imagine, the task of investigating this scene was designated to a lower SCL squad. I will make this easier for you so as to give you a chance. I have placed 4 explosive devices in apartment complexes throughout downtown. All of the information regarding their locations and buildings contained within this paragraph, as you have probably guessed. The clock for the first bomb. Yeah, those C's look like.
I know. I thought it was a parenthesis.
The clock for the first bomb is already ticking. Each successive bomb will be activated upon the defusal or detonation of the explosive device before it. Attempting to fuse the bombs out of sequence will result in all of the remaining bombs being detonated, so pay close attention to the order. As far as the location of the devices within each building, I offer these hints to that question. The hints may or not be in the correct order. That is for you to decide. It holds Uptown's past and is needed for downtown's survival. The treasure trove of the destitute. The first 2 things many of us do when we wake up in the morning. Mrs. Henry's son never calls her anymore. Okay, so letter.
I wrote it down, but that doesn't help me.
Yeah, the only ones I'm seeing are GIHA.
Yeah.
And the number is AAF.
Yeah, I have that all written.
Be right back, audience.
Okay.
There's 4 red and 1 blue letter on each line. So
Oh yeah.
I think says, because this letter is in blue, right?
Yeah, yeah. So is that like, does that represent a part? I don't know.
And the last one is always the blue one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Other than regarding their locations and buildings contained within this paragraph, as yeah, that one. Oh yeah, there's a couple lines where they don't. But
So is it like the number that they are in the alphabet or something, or is that not like a thing?
I just had a cipher for a hunter killer box I did last night that had numbers pushed up against letters, and I threw it out when I was cleaning.
Oh, you got that one too?
Yeah.
No, I'm just fucking with you. I never heard of it before, but that's where
Oh,
I
I
got
love
it.
that kind of stuff. I did like this escape room book thing, and I'm like, I'm all about it. I love that kind of stuff. But
Well, then this is
yeah,
right
I
up your
didn't know.
alley.
Is it like the numbers coincide with like the letters, and then it's like, because I don't fully understand how. Because is it like 1164 like that, or is that like a area in this? You know,
So-
like things are like 2 dash blah blah
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
or is that not like?
Yeah. So you pull up your BPN, and you do know that the sector designations can be number dash, usually a 3-digit number. That is, of the VPNs you've seen recently, that is the designation.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility that there's a correlation between those two.
Yeah, so 11643. That makes sense. Wait, not 4 or 5.
1164G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we better go there then.
Well, we don't know what order these are in exactly.
No, I open this thing.
And it is at this time that I will remind everybody that there is a brain feat called Moment of Inspiration, which costs 2 points, in which when an investigator finds themselves in a dead end with little time to reflect, true inspiration can be found. A character may use this feat when they're stuck or out of options. The GM should... So that's an option available for you. If you feel that you have hit a dead end, you can spend 2 points for the brain feat of a Moment of Inspiration. If anyone even has 2 brain.
I do, but I've got most of these codes.
Okay.
Other than the okay. I was just overlooking one.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 1164G, 4186I, 2153H, and 3229A.
Yep, that's what I got too. And then we also have to figure out what each of these little clues are to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Treasure trove of the destitute. Sounds like it could be a garbage can.
Yeah, like the dump.
Yeah.
The dump, or some kind of dumpster.
So the first thing two of us, or many of us, do in the morning, I'm thinking coffee and bathroom. I gotta check a Starbucks.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Nobody recalls her anymore.
In this meantime, did I get any info from my bros?
Not
I checked
yet.
earlier.
Not yet.
Okay.
However, you did get some additional information on your detect check. I don't know if you want that now or if you're still mulling over the note. But there is some more information based on your search of the apartment.
Yeah. I mean, does it affect anything if I get that information now?
No,
or...
it's just a matter of I didn't want to overload you with like a bunch of shit.
Oh.
So
yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. So you find 3 other pieces of information in addition to this note. The first are some builder notes indicating that a bomb that is strong enough to severely damage, if not compromise, the structural integrity of a building. There are notes for that. There. Additionally, there are notes for other different types of not just necessarily explosive or incendiary devices, but devices that power off a switch or a trigger of some kind that are not necessarily explosive in nature. So in addition to the bomb schematics, you do find those. And then finally, as you're digging through the parts, you notice that based off of some of the serial numbers and branding, that there are a number of parts of dismantled DAG mag mines, which are a type of explosive that is typically used by Dark Knight operatives that acts as a magnetization before it detonates. So it's basically used for people who you step on it, it magnetizes to your boot, then bang, goes off. There are a number of dismantled magmine parts that are around the apartment as well. Those are the other things you find.
I'll share that with the team.
Okay.
So it sounds like we're this is someone who's pretty experienced with this stuff. They've been messing around with this for a while.
Yeah. I'm reading the note. Yeah, the clues are in the bottom are out of order, but I think the sectors might be in order. So, and time is of the essence. So is there anything else we need to do? Round
Go
up
ahead.
the correct crew.
What's the first alphabetical number letter scheme we got?
No, I was doing in the note. The first one is 1164G.
Okay, so that could be G block. G block.
Well, do we start numerical order 1, 2, 3, 4, or do we do letter order?
Or closest to us, because we're on 2248.
What about numerical order?
What are in those sectors? No.
Do we know? Or do we have to look that up?
You would have to spend a little bit of time researching that. There is one other method of order that you're not considering.
Letter order.
Can you share that again? I can't see it now.
You can't see it? Yeah, give me a second. It should be under the handout section.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I might have to reload my Roll20. It's getting a little goofy on me here. Let me just pop out and come back in.
Okay. If this guy is attacking buildings in downtown, they're done up in alphabetical blocks, and the apartments or floors, the apartments are floor and blank number on that floor, right?
Oh, actually, I didn't share it to you, Bill. Hang on. Perry, do you have it in front of you?
The note?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
I have it as all players. Okay, never mind. I just didn't put it individually. All right, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and share it again, Bill. You got it?
No.
Do you have Roll20 pulled up?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, I see it in the notes in MISC.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead, and if you click on that, that'll pull it up too. It's a handout.
Oh, maybe it's down here. I'm not seeing it. That's all right.
So, looking at the note, the first one, if we go by the first letter highlighted, it's A, B, C, D. So, the first line is A, starts with A. The third one starts with B. The second one is D, and the last one is C.
Yeah.
So I think 1164G should be our first.
Yeah.
Everyone agree? Times of the essence.
Okay. And then would we go with maybe the 1, 2, 3, 4 coordinates with what number it is in the first number, as far as the hint as for like where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's what I would think.
Okay.
Yeah, Raukka probably runs to that apartment.
Okay, so this is on the level above you. How are you getting there?
So are there stairs?
It's no, it's not like in this building. This is in a different location.
Oh.
This is in the next level up.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah,
these
I
are
was
not all
gonna
in the
ask-
same building. If you're going by the
okay.
information that you've already
My bad.
determined, these are in 4 completely different
Yeah.
sectors.
I thought it was all in this apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any kind of database that, like, if you look up a section, that it can give you any info on it, or is that not like a thing?
It can be if you're taking the time to do so.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well,
I mean, so it's a question of whether or not
heading
you're
there.
running or you're. So I just need to you need to determine the method of how you're getting there. Then
Can we steal a car?
can you? You're looking to like commandeer one or something along those lines.
Yeah. We're SLA operatives. We can do that, right?
I mean, you could try. Although this part of downtown doesn't have a lot in the way of actual personal vehicles, they tend to mostly public transportation.
Wait a minute. I live downtown. I'm doing relatively well for a downtowner, and I don't have a car. So
Cars are
There's not
extremely
cars.
expensive here.
yeah, there's not car steal. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Still
I
having
think
trouble
I
with it, Bill?
just like logistically don't understand
I
how
figured
you
it out.
travel like
You got it.
this area. Like,
Yeah.
this where
Yeah, we can either do this slow thing or
So
we
same thing.
go lift.
Shift blocks, subways, Gauss train, pay a taxi. And those are going to be your 4 modes of transportation.
How much would a taxi cost for the 5 of us?
As a local for what we're doing, what would I know to be like the best way to go about things?
Give me a streetwise check.
Okay, that's a 12.
Okay. 12 of the looks like. So what's the bonus is +4 then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that the fastest way is going to be getting a taxi, but taxi drivers gouge operatives. So the next best thing would probably be the subway. Even though it's going to be a little bit slower than a Gauss train, a subway is going to get you closer to the residential sections than a Gauss train would, so there's going to be less walking. So taxi, but it's probably going to be expensive, or subway are going to be your 2 best bets.
I have 18 credits, so yeah, he's going to charge me that at least just to go one way, and we're going to need to run all over town. So I think we're going to be stuck on the subway, which may or may might be the.
what if I have the ability to haggle?
Then you could potentially haggle with the taxi driver. Subway, no, because subway prices are fixed, but you could potentially haggle with a taxi driver.
All right, let's risk it. I will flag down a taxi driver.
Okay. So you head outside. Is everybody else outside, or are you just out there?
Yeah, I don't think there's any.
Okay, so you kind of rushed outside. You took the note with you.
How much cash do we have all together, by the way?
A lot.
Yeah.
But I may not tell you how much I have.
Yeah.
All right, so the cab driver pulls up.
I'll say I have enough.
Okay, so the cab driver pulls up, and he kind of leans out the window and looks at the five of you. His taxi will maybe fit you. It's probably good. We'll say that this one's minivan-ish size, so you'll all be able to get in there, but it ain't gonna be comfy. And he's like, yo, where are you going?
A1164 or 1164G.
It's like, all right. He's like, it's gonna be 20 a person. Don't worry, I got a credit reader in here.
15?
So Reggie, go ahead and give me your haggle check before you land on a price, because I don't want you to short sell yourself here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say something first.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, bonus is 6.
Okay.
So, yeah. Is it still? Oh, it's still
There we
going.
go. Okay. +6. Okay. So with those rolls, what's your pitch gonna be to him? I wouldn't say a price number. I would bring up what you are and what you're doing. Try and convince him to charge you less.
Time is of the essence here. We really need to get there. We could potentially all be blowing up pretty soon, so I think it's pretty important that you work with us here.
30 credits.
Per person?
Yeah. I mean, if it's important and you got to get there quick.
How much for the whole day?
How much for the whole day? You say, Redcap?
Yeah.
Give me. You have a.
You can go a bunch of places, right?
Give me an intimidate check.
Okay.
Even though you're not really trying.
All right. So I got rank 1. So that's.
And intimidate's based off your strength. Or
Is it?
No, it's cool based. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, no shit. Then I got a 6.
So +6 to the roll.
Yeah.
You got 1 in intimidate, so roll 3d10s, add 6 each. All right. So you ask him. So you say. You say how much for the whole day. That's how you say it. But what actually ends up coming out is you stepping next to him, and you have your chuckle duster up. And you're like, how much for the whole day? And the guy's like, he's like, he kind of puts his hands before you. He's like, all right, just get in. I'll get you there.
Thank you. I shrug.
All right.
Patch climbs in the front seat.
Okay, Patch gets in the front.
You're an angel.
All right, so you guys get in there. I'll cram in with him, and he drives off. He drives around some traffic. He gets stuck up a little bit at one point, where there's it looks like some sort of crime scene that took place that somebody else is investigating, and you're not worried about. But he does end up getting you there within probably about 20 minutes. You wind up at your first location, which is 1164G. That's where everybody agreed on, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and switch the scene over here. Blip. Okay, so as you come across the apartment building, you mentally note the improvement in living conditions from the apartment at the crime scene. Even though it's just one level up, the contrast of the two locations is stark in such direct view. The rain that falls down has a milky white hue as opposed to the light brown tone that it had below you. The Block G apartment stands 4 stories tall, which is higher than any of the other apartment blocks around it. But as best as you can tell, the conditions inside and the overall quality of the building is the same as their neighbors. What do you do?
So is this the type of city? It's like layered on city, block of city over block of city, like built upon each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's taller. Does it kind of reach the bottom of the next block?
No, not even close. That one's still a good 100 feet above it.
Okay.
What were the clues?
It holds Uptown's past and is needed for downtown survival. The treasure trove of the destitute. The first 2 things many of us do when we wake up in the morning, and Mrs. Henry's son never calls her anymore.
Perry, if you go into, it's the 3rd tab on the right-hand side of Roll20, that's a section for like handouts, and it's your journal. The note should be in there for you. You can pull it up and look at it.
There we go. Okay.
Did we decide what we think which ones coordinate with which? Like if the one coordinates with section 1, or if it's different?
I wasn't sure.
I think we should.
Be right back.
Oh, hey. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the first numbers of the sections we're in.
Right.
So yeah.
I was asking.
Yeah, so I'd say going
Does
with
that-
1 would be the best. Yeah, because doing the last number doesn't work. And the second
So
the same. So
So the
assume it's
Uptown's
just-
past one with the
Yeah.
downtown survival.
that's why I was wondering if like this was holding up the upper level, but it's not. So I don't have type of history of
History.
yeah. I'm good with psychology, science, and literature.
Does anybody have anything in sector lore? That would be the appropriate roll to do
Yeah, I
it
do.
for you.
I have sector.
I have a history knowledge, but yeah.
I can roll that.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give me that roll, Raukka.
Oof, not great.
Okay. Based off of kind of thinking about your knowledge of the sectors, you would know that this would be the first level of downtown that would be below suburbia and uptown.
Yeah. Well.
What's in this area? Is it just an
Apartment
building?
complexes. This is a residential district. So, apartment buildings, and then, in like some of the facades of some of the other blocks are like fast food joints, restaurant, pizza places, convenience stores, things like that. But it is a residential district.
Is there some place they collect rainwater?
So you know that a lot of downtown apartments, even uptown ones, the water source is a water tower on top of the building, and that usually collects the rainwater that comes down through the upper levels.
Okay. Should we check there?
Yeah.
Do we know which
Yeah.
one?
The tallest one?
I don't know. Reggie?
Well, when we gave that address or whatever, we ended up at an apartment building, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep, you ended up in front of the one that
The tall.
he gave them the order for, and that is the tallest
Right.
one in the surrounding areas.
So let's go in.
right, so that would be where we would.
Okay, so you're going into that one and you're making your way up to the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go through, you climb your way up to the top, and once you get there, you do see that up on the roof you get a good view of the rest of the sector. As you head over to the water tower, you can see at the base of the tower a spider's web of pipes that branch off from it. It seems that this tower provides water not only for this building, but for the whole street. On top of it, the tower is open where it is collecting water from a gradually flowing drain pipe that is jutting out from the street level of the suburbia sector overhead.
Well, this is it.
Is it?
It holds up Uptown's past, needed for downtown survival.
Yeah.
But is there a map?
Yeah,
There's nothing around you that you can see.
Could it be inside of it?
Yeah, can we like look in the?
So you're trying to climb up and look down into there?
Patch isn't trying to climb up it into there, but they do suggest someone climbs up it into there.
I'll do it.
I went in the sewer. Somebody else has to do this one.
I'll do this one.
Okay, so you're actually going into the tank itself.
Yep.
Oh, you can see it at least.
Okay. So you climb up. The tank itself is about like 10 feet high or so. And then you get into the water. Your armor is heavy, but you're still able to, kind of brace yourself against the side. Give me a swimming check.
Will athletics work?
Athletics will not work, but you can make a swimming check unskilled. It's just going to be adding in your strength as your bonus, and you're going to be rolling just 2d10, so a success die and 1 skill die.
Okay, because I don't remember seeing swimming specifically.
It's there, I assure you.
Book I was looking.
Yeah,
sure.
It is there. Swimming is its own individual skill, and nobody ever takes it.
Then what's athletics?
I'm a bird.
Athletics is like running,
jumps.
jump. Athletics is like running, jumping, climbing, balance.
No, acrobatics is jumping.
So athletics is like running. Trust me, swimming's its own skill. I'm looking at it right here on my screen. It exists. So go ahead and give.
Okay, so unskilled. That's 2 die.
Yep, 2d10. Add in your strength as your bonus.
Okay, 2d10 plus 4. I'm gonna use a luck.
Okay. Are you gonna re-roll or are you gonna add on to any of them?
I am re-rolling.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 10 and a 9.
Okay, so that you re-rolled the success die then, with that luck.
Yes.
Okay. So you start to let go and you sink to the bottom pretty quickly because again the extra weight of your armor and you're fully clothed. It kind of like catches you for at first, and as you guys are sitting on the rooftop, you hear. First Shrek just kind of clunk in, and then it kind of gets like quiet for a little bit. You start to hear kind of like knocking around the walls inside, but eventually you kind of like get used to the extra weight, and you're able to feel your way around the tower. And at the bottom of it, your foot does nudge something that seems very, very solid and is not part of the flat bottom. The remainder of the bottom is smooth, but at the center of it, there is something very solid and very sturdy that does not match the rest of the profile of the floor.
Okay. Well, is my phone waterproof?
Yes, it is. Your stuff's your communication device, even though you can't talk right now, is waterproof.
Okay. So it's like pitch black, right?
Yeah. You go down in there. It's not pitch black. It is like I mean, it's downtown's always kind of dark and dreary. This particular area it's like the water is like a milky kind of white, because again, you're not super far downtown. The water that's filtering through is certainly dirty, but not completely black, as it would be once you got into like a lower downtown. So it's cloudy. You couldn't see in it. You couldn't like conceivably see in it very well. Are you trying to like swim down to get a closer look at the device or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll take the flashlight off of my rifle, stick it in my mouth,
Okay.
turn it on, and then go down and get the device. Maybe, like, if I'm close enough to it, like, the light will provide some kind of illumination to the shape of this thing. Okay. I'm not expecting details.
Okay. So you detach your flashlight from your rifle mount, which I believe is where it normally is, and you pop it in your mouth and you swim down, and you go to the bottom, and the brightness of the light does manage to pierce through enough that you can see what looks like some sort of plastic housing with some wires coming out of it, and as you like kind of approach it, it is very firmly secured to the bottom of this tower. Like, you try and pull it up, and does not budge an inch. But as you put your hands on it, you can feel like a very faint humming that indicates that this thing is live and active.
I hope he's okay down there.
Yeah, it's been a bit that for Shrek's been down there.
Maybe the drugs are helping him breathe.
He texted us. Hold on.
Oh my God. There we go. There we go. I had to change to the feed so people watching can see it. The water bursts above, and for Shrek comes popping out, gasping for air.
It took the time to text that,
though. It's the world of progress, man. Some things are instinctive.
Okay.
Is there a like release valve anywhere to drain the water tower?
I can side.
So you're looking for a release valve around there?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go through, and you're kind of looking through the mechanics of it, you do find a drainage valve for this that will drain out the tank. However, you kind of... What's that?
It's going to mess up the water supply for this entire district for a while. But it's pretty much has to be done, because if this blows up, it's going to mess it up for even longer.
Okay, I'm just gonna be in here.
Can I intimidate the water?
Raukka, you cannot unfortunately intimidate the water into temporarily leaving the tank and then returning.
This is gonna be really bad for the people here for a few days, but we need to drain this to allow...
But it'd be bad if they blow up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna...
So
something simpler happened to my building. We just drank rat blood for a couple days.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to drain the tank.
Okay. You try, and there is just too much pressure for someone of your strength to get it open. This is holding back a lot of water, and it probably hasn't been used in a while.
Raukka.
I'll turn the valve then.
Okay. So you're just gonna go ahead and just try and just crank it open?
Yeah.
Okay. You're what, strength 5? 6?
6.
Okay, you easily do it. You...
I loosened it though.
I could have done that.
Yeah, you...
Yes, you loosened it, yes.
Sure, keep telling yourself that.
You turn the valve, and you turn it hard enough that you feel like something cracked, but it didn't break off. So I mean, that's a good thing. And then at that point, water just comes rushing out onto the roof of this building. It's coming out quickly, but it's not in any danger of like sweeping you off of it or whatever. It just kind of spreads out and then kind of flows off the roof down the sides of the building. It takes a few minutes, but after a while of draining out, the water stops running out from it.
Okay.
For Shrek, you know the most.
Now we're gonna have fun getting him out of there after this.
It's okay. I have a power claymore.
Oh boy.
The point of draining it was not.
You don't want to use that on the bomb.
No, to cut myself out. Now, someone get down here and help me with this blasted thing.
I mean, as far as I know, you're the one with the most experience with bombs.
I mean, I have some technical skills, but I don't know if that helps with bombs.
I'm not scared. I'll go.
Alright.
So,
Reggie, down here.
okay, so some discussion about skills that would be applicable here. Demolitions will help with it. Additionally, was it maintenance or technical electrical will work as well. You will be at a slight penalty because it's a bomb, but your technical electrical with that penalty may still be higher than for Shrek's explosives. So you may want to, discuss that.
Yeah.
I mean, worst comes to worst, he can still assist me, right? Like,
Yes.
now give me a bonus on my die roll.
I would say like a +1 at the most.
I'll take it. Get down here, Birdman.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to get out. You're going to have to help me.
I think they prefer to be called avian Americans.
Was that Raukka?
I think they prefer to be called avian Americans.
Yes.
What's America?
America got wiped out in the war.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna go to the far side of the roof.
okay, you're okay. You're getting yourself enough distance. For Shrek, you just hop in there. Reggie, you are following suit in with him.
I have been in there
Yeah.
this whole time.
Oh, that's right. You never left. So you like rode like the fucking water slide as this thing drained out to the bottom. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you might be a little dizzy now at this point as the whirlpool probably spun you around a few hundred times, draining it out. So Reggie, you climb in there. There's about 6 inches of water at the bottom. And Fair Shrek is standing there. And then you see in the center there is like a little hard plastic case that has some wiring coming out of it that is sitting at the bottom of it. And again, you get to the bottom and it is very, very tightly secured to the floor of this tower.
Alright, let's fuck this carny pig.
You want me to do the roll? I have a pretty decent whatever.
You probably do. Let's see. Yeah, my demolitions is... Yeah, I'd be rolling 2 dice with a 3 bonus. So, yeah, I will assist you.
Okay, so go ahead and make your roll, Reggie. You will get 1 +1 to your success die from the help of Fair Shrek.
And then I also have a +1 from my maintenance kit.
Did you bring your maintenance kit with you? Because that was a weight
I
thing.
think I would if this was a bomb-related issue.
If you would have known to have gone
Yes,
back
I
to
believe
your...
I would have.
Okay. We'll say yeah. We'll say that you brought it with you, so that's okay. You can add in another +1 for that.
So, let's see here. So that's 4, 4, right? Because it's a 2. Why does my brain hurt so much?
So you're technical electrical. So you're rolling. Yep, you're rolling 4. So your success, your 2 skill, and your 3 skill dice.
My bonus is. Yeah, and my bonus is a 9, and then I have 1 from the kit and 1 from the other thing to help. That's a.
Your bonus is
11.
a 9 or an 8?
It's 8. I looked at the wrong thing, but so I guess it's 10.
So 10 total. Okay.
Yeah, 10. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. So you go ahead and you kneel down, and even though it's the bomb is very efficiently designed, there is not a lot of extra moving parts or whatnot, which makes it very reliable in the fact that it can still fire underwater, but it also makes it fairly easy to defuse. So you manage to sort out where it's going to the power source, you clip it out. Additionally, from your extra skill die successes, you determine that this did not have an explosive payload. There is and you kind of notice it as you're diffusing it, there is another metal plate below you, and the firing device in this was going to trigger another magnet charge that would have effectively just sealed whoever tried to defuse this to the bottom of this thing. So this was meant to magnetize the diffuser to the bottom of the tank, should they have failed in defusing this bomb.
Well, good thing I didn't fail in defusing this bomb.
So
otherwise, it would have been dead.
You pull the pieces apart, and you deactivate it fully. You even manage to deactivate the power source of the mag connection, so you separate the whole thing from the bottom of the tower. Just as you do, you start to see people, Patch, you're at the edge of the roof, you start to see people coming out of the building and, like, looking up towards you. They're not happy.
It's okay. SLA business.
What the fuck happened to our water?
There was a bomb up here. Don't worry, we fixed it.
I go over to that part of the roof.
Okay.
And I kind of call down to these people. I'm like, get back in your homes.
All right. Yeah. All right. You yell out, and everybody kind of still pretty cranky, but they definitely scatter without too much more of an argument and go back inside. So with that, you have defused this bomb, and now it's deciding your next location.
2153.
Do we say that we get out of the water tank okay?
What's that?
Is it easy to get out of?
Is
it easy to get out of the water
Yeah,
tank?
there's like a ladder on the lower half that allows you to kind of get up and get out. It's a little bit of clambering, but there's not any sort of time crunch or pressure, so you get out.
Okay.
Oh, good. I was going to cut us out of here if there wasn't one.
No, you make your way out.
Yeah, so the next one is...
I make sure that Raukka closes the valve back up before we leave, just so it doesn't like keep raining for days and then
draining out. Okay, yeah. You as a group close up the drainage valve, and you see the pipe from above that's continually, gradually trickling water into this thing, but it is going to take some time to fill it back up.
I take up all my purple frother dreads and just wrap them up in a ponytail and wring them out.
Okay.
3 more.
Okay. So on to the next one.
Yeah,
I'm sure the guy is gonna love us now.
if he's still there.
Soaking wet frother.
All right. So you guys head back to the taxi driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is still there. Still sufficiently scared. The two have not left. So you get in the cab.
So the next one we decided was the 2153H, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So you give him the directions. He brings you over to there. And then the 5 of you get dropped off back into the section of 2153H. And for this one, so this apartment complex in this portion of your hunt is so similar to the initial crime scene that you have to double check the location to make sure you didn't get things mixed up and went back there by mistake. The only notable difference between this building and that one are the advertisements on the side. You've arrived at your destination.
Which are for what?
These ones are for Alien Sex Channel, a TV station or TV channel that you'd be well aware of.
Okay.
So
So did we decide that the clue numbers coincide with the numbers?
that's what I assumed,
Okay.
which would make
All
this
right.
treasure trove of the destitute, but it might not.
Yeah. Or does it coincide with the line?
Oh yeah, it could be that too. So in which case, this would be
But I don't know.
or Mrs. Henry's son never calls her anymore. So it's either the treasure trove or the destitute, or Mrs. Henry's
Oh.
son never calls her anymore.
No, it would be the third one because we're on the third line. Because technically,
Oh, okay,
B, like we were going, if we were going A, B, C, like that, then the third line, yeah. So this is just an apartment building. Do we see anything else?
So this is again a
Like-
residential district, like the others, and similar to the other things you've seen before: convenience stores, pizza places, fast food joints. It all kind of blends together, and like I said,
Yeah.
this is almost a carbon copy of the initial crime scene that you were at.
So,
Do we
I
go
think
for
that-
the
So
garbage thing or the bathroom thing?
we don't know if it's bathroom. I'm just saying the first two things I do in the morning are usually
Yeah.
caffeine and followed quickly by a trip to the bathroom.
Or shower.
Yeah.
shower, shoot up, and shave.
You don't shave.
Although we kind of already did the showering with the water, so I don't know.
I mean, maybe we can break off into 2 groups, and one of us can one pair can check the garbage, the other check bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go to the bathrooms.
As far as the bathrooms go, there are no public bathrooms in this. The only bathrooms that would be here would be the bathrooms in the residences, of which there are hundreds.
Is there like a diner or
There is
Don't we
no other public establishments in this building. For Shrek, what were you going to
Is
say? You were
there
going to ask something?
a dumpster?
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna check the dumpsters.
Okay. So we'll start off with you couple first. You start to look, and the blocks, the apartment blocks in these typically don't have dumpsters because of so much potential carrying activity, things like that. Usually the garbage in these facilities is housed in a large compactor in the basement of the tenements. So if there was any sort of garbage, it would be disposed of there, where it is then crushed and transported out.
Okay. So, as a terrible Scottish stereotype, as my particular breed of humanity is, my folk are very frugal. So, where do people go to scrounge up useful garbage? Like,
that would definitely be the place.
Okay, so we're gonna go there.
Why don't we just go to the basement? Yeah.
Okay, I was just double checking to see if it was a different thing in this universe.
No.
Well, these are all all these locations are in apartment buildings, right?
Okay.
It's or the building of whatever the address is. So I assume we have to go in the building somehow. So we'll check out the basement, I guess, where the garbage thing is.
All right. I was looking for new underwear anyway. Let's go.
Okay. So you go inside the apartment building. You go down into the basement. Inside there, you go to the area where the pit would be. The pit is like a 6 meter by 6 meter square. That's about probably 4 meters deep or so. So about not probably that much. Probably you're looking about 10 meters, 2 meters deep, so about 10 feet ish. Again, there's a ladder going down there. This one actually looks like it's recently undergone a cleaning. It is, other than a couple bags that are tossed around there, fairly empty.
Gonna start checking around, opening bags.
Okay.
Poking things with my sheath sword.
Gotcha. All right, you hop down there and you kind of dig your way through the bags and tear them open, leaving them on the floor of this compactor. There is no explosive devices or any other sort of functioning electronic devices at all in this area. Patch, where are you going?
I'm trying to think if it was. I'm not sure. If they went down, I'm still trying to figure out. You know what? There's the rating point inspiration thing.
Yeah. So you're gonna spend two brain points to do the inspiration.
Yeah, I've got those. So.
Okay. Okay, so since this is a pretty heavy-duty thing because you're spending rating points on a feat, you get a couple different bits of information that I'm going to give for you. The first is you pull out the note and take a look again at the order, and there was one order of organization that you didn't think of, and it's the most obvious one, and that is the locations reading top to bottom on the letter. Meaning that the first one was correct, but this one would have actually been the third one down on the list. Whereas 4186 Block I would be second, 3229 Block A would be fourth. That's the first thing you determine. The second thing you think about is you kind of think to yourself okay, first two things. Bathroom, coffee. Where does the bathroom go to?
Oh, so yeah, they go down into the sewers.
That's what you get.
Hey, Raukka.
What?
You're not gonna like this.
Why?
We need to go down into the sewers.
Who's we?
Me and you, and Redcap. You go with them, or are you with us?
I'd be with you guys.
Okay. The three of us.
All right,
Okay.
As long as I don't have to go by myself.
Shrug.
I was staring at the snow. Shout. Yeah, go.
I just throw out there that if we disarm the bombs in the wrong order, then they all blow up.
Well, I think you disarmed the first one in the right order, right?
Mm-hmm. But I thought
Yeah, I get you.
whoever that there didn't have it right.
I think we
I can take it.
That's right, but I think as far as the order of the, maybe.
Well, let's find it first.
Yeah, I mean, since we're here, you can find it. I just think we have to make sure we disarm them in the correct order, or else they all explode.
And I would send a call and just be like, we're going into the sewers to look for one. I think we got the orders of the clues wrong. And
Okay, so the three of you head down into the sewer?
yeah, and I got a flashlight on my death suit shoulder.
Okay. That's right, you do. Hang on a second.
And my death suit probably looks pretty cool in the dark of the sewer because it's got like the glyphs and stuff that I can go up. So too bad there's no cameras on us right now.
Okay, so the three of you drop down into the sewer. Raukka, you have a flashlight that is handheld. Are you going to be holding that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pat, you have a shoulder-mounted one. Silver, you do not have one, but you have two teammates who are providing you with that level of vision. So we'll go ahead and head you down. And just for the lighting purposes, are you guys able to see?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, there we are.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just pulling it up on my map here. So yeah, it's a bigger map. So, but because the sewers are big, but you climb down the ladder. You hit the bottom, and let's see notes on this one. So you hit the bottom of the sewer. There is a sound of gently rushing water that is trickling beneath your feet that almost drowns out the slight rustling coming from the large opening to your left.
Yeah, heading to the left then. I think, right?
Draw my my chain axe.
Okay, so who's taking the lead?
Yeah, I will.
Not Patch, yes. So, Raukka, you're taking the lead? Or are you and Silver, like, competing for taking the lead?
Nah, well, that might happen.
There's no cameras, so I'll let him go if he wants.
Okay, so Silver's leading off, and then Raukka's behind. Patch, are you right behind them? Or, like, so if this was, like, the order, would you be, like, there? Would you be, like, here? Where would you be?
I think I'd probably be bringing up the rear.
Okay, so I was asking more. So Patch, are you going to be like right behind Redcap, or?
Yeah, I mean enough distance so like, obviously I'm not like if he stops fast I'm not going to run into him.
Okay. But you're staying fairly close to him. You're not like hanging back too far, and Raukka's behind you. So.
I'd be like right there.
So, are you like making a concerted effort to stay behind both Raukka and Redcap, or are you?
I'm
like,
just staying behind whoever's in the lead.
Okay, so like if you were Silva, say like Raukka, you kind of like go to move back, and then Patch kind of like comes back, is like keeps pushing you back, letting Silver take a pretty big Redcap. I'm sorry, take a pretty big lead. So you start to advance forward. Unfortunately, Redcap is the only one without a flashlight. So it is at this point where he walks out into the darkness, and then you start to hear a boom, 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 boom sort of noise as a carnivorous pig starts to charge at him. So what you see as you as like it kind of comes through the darkness of like the dim light that is from the two of you, is a very large pig that is charging full speed. Around it, like, is you notice like on its underbelly there is something that's protruding out, and it looks like there has been like a series of like duct tape that's been wrapped around it. So go ahead and give me an initiative check, everybody. Everybody who's in the combat, anyways.
That's just a D10 plus
D10 plus your initiative, yes.
Great. I get to miss out on the bacon bomb.
That's a 7.
7, okay. Turn on his nameplate. All right, so Raukka, let's see, can I add it on all of these guys?
19.
All right, so Redcap 19, Raukka 7.
Yep.
Okay. Patch, you got an 11.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go by descending order. All right, so Redcap. You know what? Because you didn't see it coming, the pig's gonna get the first attack on you this turn. And then the future initiative will pick up. So the carnivorous pig comes in and gores you with one of the large tusks that are protruding from its snout. And he is, let's see, so he's going -1 because he's charging. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the you hear kind of a rustling kind of coming through, but because you don't have a good like vision of what's happening, you kind of like try and like bend down lower to get like a better sense of the noise. And as you do, the pig comes out of the darkness and gores you right in the head. You are going to take 14 damage.
Ouch.
And a wound to the head, so you are bleeding. And additionally, I think a wound to the head marks you as stunned, which means that you go to the end of the initiative order. So you'll actually be acting last in the next round. Let me just double check that here. The stunned character will feel dizzy and react slowly to situations. Anyone with the stun condition is automatically considered to have the lowest initiative of all combatants, selecting actions and acting simultaneously with other stunned character. Additionally, a stunned character may move no faster than their closing speed and suffers a -1 modifier to all dice for any skill rolls they undertake. Stun is removed with a medical intervention, certain drugs, or with at least 6 hours rest. So additionally, you're going to take 3 armor damage on top of that, Redcap. And of course, again, that 14 damage is not including, like your PV or whatever. So with your body blocker, you're going to take 10 damage total. And then, so you'll actually be going last in the initiative order. So we're going to mark you at 0 and reorder. And you guys see this. So, like, Redcap kind of leans down, and then a giant pig comes stampeding out from the darkness and gores him through the lower jaw of his helmet and just nails him hard. So, with that, Patch, you are now going to be the first in the turn order. So, declaring intentions, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
If I declare my intention
Oh, I'm
first,
sorry. No, you're right. Sorry, low to high. My bad. Redcap, what are you doing first?
I'm gonna swing back on the pig.
Okay.
Try it.
Okay. Raukka.
I think I'm gonna charge up and take my pound of flesh.
Is that a feat?
Oh no, just
You're just.
same works.
Oh, okay, you're swinging it. Okay, wasn't sure. Okay, so you're attacking the pig as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pig is going to swing again on Redcap. And Redcap, that is probably harder than you've ever been hit in your entire life. Which
Definitely harder than Raukka.
Was that?
Definitely harder than Raukka.
Definitely harder than Raukka. Yeah, you were fucked up pretty bad by that. Patch, what are you gonna do?
We're standing in water.
Marginal water. That's kind of trailing off here and there, but a small amount. Yes. What's the plan?
Okay. Now, yeah, I'm just gonna move up closer and try to heal Redcap.
Okay, so you're going to calculate the ebb for a heal check,
Yep.
and that's going to go off in the next round. You can move your closing speed when you're doing that, I believe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I only need to be within 2 meters of him anyways for advanced heal.
Okay, so you'll do that. So give me a heal check for that as you calculate the ebb. This will not go off until the next round.
Right.
And then that will be your action, and the next round is to fire it off.
Ooh, but that is plus 8, so that will be a 10, which is the difficulty for advanced heal.
Okay. Do you get any additional healing points for skill die success?
Yes, if I get, let's see. Yeah, so I've got 4 skill die success.
Yep.
I regain 1 flux.
Okay. So it's
flux
not
and
any
small.
additional healing or whatever. You basically get to heal him for free. Okay. All right. So you're calculating the ebb for that, and then that goes off first. So, so you calculate heal. So then the pig follows up on you, Redcap, as you're kind of staggered back, and he's going to attack you again. And he like gores you, and then you're still stuck to his tusk. And as you're trying to break free, he takes your head and slams it against a wall. Take another 14 damage.
Ugh.
Okay.
And then, are you still up? 3 armor damage as well.
Yeah, I'm still up.
Okay, good. So yeah, he slams you against the wall again, and then you manage to finally pull your head free. Raukka, what you doing?
Well, charge on up.
Okay, so you're moving your rushing speed?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 5 is your rush?
Yep.
Okay.
No, 7.
Okay, then. Alright, so you just charge him up.
Yep.
And you're gonna swing?
Yes.
Okay.
With the mutilator.
Okay. Alright, what's the bonus on that?
It is 8.
8. Alright. So you get 2. Alright, so you succeed, and then you get, let's see. Any bonuses? No cover. Hand-to-hand attack modifiers. You're charging a target, so you get -1 to the skill die, but you succeed still, in spades. And you get +1 skill die success because you were charging. So, didn't charge you. He's not using combat defense. Didn't hit him last round. Okay, so yeah, just pretty much other than the -1 flat roll. So you get that. What's your bonus? I'm sorry?
8.
8, so you get 4 successes with that. So I gotta keep the jukebox going here. Now let's get some combat music.
Do we have any idea what's happening? Has anyone communicated that with us?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the headsets too, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Man.
You just hear Pig yell very loudly. Okay, so Perry, that's so you succeeded in. You got 4 skill die success. And so you run up and you just kind of like charging like Superman punch this pig in the head as it's trying to as it pulls its tusk free. You come in, so you're going to get an extra 6 damage on him, and then that is going to stun him as well. So that's going to move him to the bottom of the initiative order, along with Redcap.
Let me find the damage quickly. That's D10. Oh yeah.
All right, so 10 plus 6, so 16 damage.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So you run in and you swing at this thing, and this punch that you're certain would have turned one of those 9th Division operatives into paste, while does significant damage to this thing, it's still standing. So you run in and you crack the bejesus out of it, and it kind of like squeals out in pain, but it stays on its feet. But you do significant damage to it. So I have to reorder things here. Redcap and Pig at the same here.
I didn't get to go yet.
Yeah, so go ahead. I was just reordering, but now it's your go, Redcap, because the Pig's going to go in the same round as you afterwards. But you go ahead and take your shot now.
So Chain X inbound.
Okay.
+9. Oops, the first one I clicked it twice by accident.
Okay. The first one? Okay, +9. So success. And 4 skill die success. So yeah, Raukka runs in and absolutely cracks the shit out of this thing. You kind of step back and just blindly, because you can barely see at this point, swing. But you have just enough of a natural combat sense that you catch this thing right in the side, and you catch it and then kind of pull out through its head and drop it, and it is dead.
Do we have some kind of do we have a way with our communication devices to know where they are in relation to us?
Did we say we were going down to the sewers? If not, we'll say, hey, we're in the sewers.
And then Patch, the round afterwards, so after combat, your advanced heal fires off. So whatever the...
7 hit points because 1 from my med kit, and his wound gets healed.
Okay, so your wound gets healed. Does that remove a condition too, so he's no longer stunned, or...
I'm not sure.
Let me see.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, that was... How close were you to dying there?
I had 8 hit points, so 1 more hit would have took me out.
Yeah, yeah. So you took a massive amount of damage, but still, managed to survive. And the both of you saw that. The fact that Redcap took 2 massive hits from this pig and managed to stay on his feet, and then quickly dispatch of it with the help of Raukka. For Shrek, Reggie, you. Come down. Well, Reggie, are you going down there into the scene too, or?
Well, I thought that Patch discovered that we had the wrong order of bombs, so I didn't think we were disarming this one yet.
Right, but
or is that not correct?
Well, so, I mean, that's based on the discussions you've had. Are you going down into the sewer at this point? You can still communicate afterwards. It's just whether or not you're going down at this moment. For Shrek, you're going down there?
Yeah, my earpiece, sounded like carny pigs, so they need my help.
Yep. So you go down there and you see Redcap has his the helmet of his body block armor has been damaged heavily, and his face is gushing blood. At this point, it seems like the wound is starting to heal through a combination of Patch's work and his own Stormer regeneration. What's the regenerate? Do you get 2 HP back around, Redcap?
It's like 15 minutes or something.
It's 2 every 15 minutes. Okay, that's more sensible. But okay, yeah. So you start to kind of regenerate. Oh, actually, yeah. Well, now you do. So a character capable of regeneration may only do so providing they still have at least 25% of their hit points remaining. If a character has less than 25, they must be healed by conventional means. But I'm pretty sure that Patch's heal brought you back up over that. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this bomb.
Yeah,
Like,
so
how attached to the carny pig is it?
yes, so now that the pig is laying down, you see that a device has been duct taped to his underbelly. When like there's just been duct tape that's been like wrapped around him. You briefly question how the fuck that was even managed, how somebody managed to duct tape a bomb to a live carnivorous pig. But you go over to it and you examine it, and it does not appear to be running.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
So,
If is it safe down there, guys? I guess I'll say. And if so, then I'll go.
Okay, you climb down.
it's safe.
Okay, you climb down and you
And then I'll go down.
you all surround the pig.
So, we don't disarm this bomb yet.
You said it's not running.
Yeah,
Like
it-
it
whereas
doesn't-
yeah, whereas the other one seemed like it was powered, like it was humming, like like it
Yeah.
was going. This one just seems completely inert.
Can I attempt a demolition to see how this bomb works?
Yes. Either you or Reggie can use an appropriate skill based like the same way you did last time to examine the device.
without disarming it.
Yes. So yeah, you can look it over and try and get a view of what it does.
Okay, so that is a 10 and 7.
Okay. So you look under it and you see that it appears that the payload for this, you kind of like shift it slightly in relation to its attachment to the pig, and you notice that the top of it has a heating element, like almost like it was like detached from like a hot plate or something like that. It appears, based on the two of you kind of convening together on this, that this device was meant to cook the pig. But there is no explosive payload. And Patch, this is where you think shit and breakfast.
Oh yeah. So bacon?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bacon. Okay. But it doesn't need to be disarmed?
It's not active right now.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to try and dismantle this thing or leave it be.
Well, we want to make sure we go in the right order of things, right? No way to know if it's safe to, like, take it off the pig or, like, move it.
It looks like it's just duct taped. As you examine it, it doesn't look like there's any sort of pressure triggers or anything like that. That would indicate that removing it from the pig would be it would trigger it or do anything damaging in any way. You know,
So
other
we
than it
could-
being strapped to a pig. So you could conceivably remove it and take it with you and not have to come back here.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of what I was thinking.
Yep.
If it's not gonna, like, blow us up.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's do that.
there is no. It does not appear that there's any explosives that have been connected to this in any way.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we would do that.
Okay. You pull out your
Never the
blade.
safest way to do it.
You pull out your blade. You cut it free from the tape, and you put it in your bag.
Something doesn't feel right about this.
Well, I think this person is trying to mess with us anyway, so it doesn't really surprise me that they would do that.
I think this bomb specifically was to target the squad sent to go after him.
Why does he want to target a squad?
Cause fuck us.
Did I get any more info on him yet? From my peeps?
So, I mean, you don't have any reception down here, but you checked before you went in. You get some information back from your from your message boards and your groups that particular name, Terrence Wolforth, has been used by somebody who has it's a known name of somebody who is active in the bomb making community, but nearly everybody uses aliases in pretty much all of those communities. So you suspect it's not a real name.
Okay. Is there any way of me trying to figure out any more info, like as far as what his real name is or who he really is or anything? From that, like hack.
Based on your experience and your knowledge of people like that, you know that if there's somebody who is well enough to have kind of a reputation in these circles, he is going to be well enough to have covered his tracks to the point where this particular name is not going to be tieable to him in any way. At least through these particular channels. He will have probably been careful enough to cover his tracks.
Okay.
Okay, what's the next move?
Let me know every 15 minutes or whatever, or how much time passes as far as.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're down.
Was that Patch?
How much are you down, hit points wise?
13.
That last heal was basically free because I got it back, so I can always throw another advance. I can calculate.
Well, how long is it going to take to get to the next place anyway?
You will not have healed in full by the time you get there, regardless of how far away it is. That'll take you a good solid hour plus to heal back everything.
Yeah, it'll take me like 90 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can throw another advanced heal at you.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Yes,
give another. If you want to go ahead and give another check.
Yeah, and actually, because the med kit, it's actually rating of 9 instead of 10.
No, Redcap, your armor is below is 50% of where it's full because the resistance is 12, right, on body blocker.
Yeah.
So your PV is halved. So you have a PV of 2 now on your armor until it gets fixed.
So yeah, and that's another free one. So
Okay. So you heal him back another 7 points?
yes.
Okay. And go ahead and heal yourself up. And then I'll note you on the regeneration in the times in between.
Alright, so next stop.
Yeah.
The 186I, right? That's the next one we're supposed to go to?
Yes.
And in that one, we're going to the trash compactor area.
Seems so.
Yeah, that would have been the second. Yeah, I think that was the one. That was the second. Yeah, that was the second one.
Okay. Our friend's healed up enough to stop bleeding, right?
Silver, yeah, I mean his bleeding healed up in the advanced heal. So he's and you know enough about Stormers that he's he'll regenerate the rest. But he's in operable shape at this point.
Okay, not that the cabbie has a choice, but I if he was still bleeding all over the place, I would have found something to cover his face up.
You go back to the street.
Really?
The cab. You go back to the street. The cab is gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he took off.
No, we can't pay him. I intended to pay him. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Public transport.
Public transport, or do you want to attempt to flag down another cabbie and intimidate him?
I mean, we are bringing a hot plate bomb on public transport. It might not be the best idea, but
Yeah.
At least it won't explode.
All right, I will just throw out my local hand sign to flag down a cab.
All right,
if that thing starts ticking, like, let us all know.
got it.
So the next one is
That ain't-
4186I. Is that the
What's that?
4186I? Is the next one?
Yeah, that's where you guys are headed. Okay, so for Shrek, again, because we're back in 2, you pull over a cabbie. You know this guy. This is Alan. You've seen him around. He actually lives in your neighborhood. So he kind of sees you and like pulls up, and he pulls it, leans down. He's like, Shrekky. This guy is like he's like African American. He's probably African.
What's America?
Yeah, shut up. He's dark skinned. He's black. He is probably late 50s. Career cab driver. Decent guy. And he's like Trekkie?
Alan! I graduated. Me and the lads here are on job. Can you help us out?
It's like he kind of like leans over and he looks at like the group. He's like, yeah, it'll be a tight fit, but come on, I'll get you where you need to go.
That ain't.
All right, so the 5 of you cram into, again, like a minivan sized cab, and he takes off towards section 4186. This one is again, it's gonna be a little bit longer of a trip because you're going from sector 2 down to sector 4. So you're going down 2 levels, so it's going to take you probably about 45 minutes. So Silver, take back 6 hit points, which should put you past full at this point.
Yeah.
And as you guys pull up, Alan sheepishly looks at the fare meter, and he's like, "All right, 10 credits for the group."
I got it.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You run your card through. You pay him off. And he's like, "All right, well, good luck. Hope you and your friends have fun."
Thank you again, Alan. You're a good lad.
Maybe we should give him an extra couple because we're gonna need him one more time. How much to keep the meter running for? I don't know.
He's like, "I'll keep it running, and then however long you take, and then I'll be the fare." But
Okay, so
10 credits for a 45-minute drive and pretty reasonable. So he agrees to stick around.
Okay.
In my process of since I was 45 minutes, could my contact, my bro, Julian, that sometimes helps me out with info?
Sure.
Time to see if he knows anything.
So you're looking for again the name specifically, Terrence Wolforth? Or are you?
Yeah, well, a little bit of description on where he lives and a little bit about it, and see if he knows anything about that situation.
Okay.
And him.
You go ahead and you reach out to him. I assume electronically through a messenger.
Yeah.
He responds back with a text sometime later that says he's heard that there's been a lot of Dark Knight recruiting efforts in that particular area.
So that's probably the association.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right.
I share that with the group just so everyone kind of knows.
Jeez.
Oh, great! Another audition.
Okay, so you guys get out into this area. So you're in you're in level 4 now, and whereas the slight improvement of level 1 over level 2 was noticeable before, where a little less polluted and whatnot, the difference between 4 and 1 and 4 and 2 is like stepping into a completely other world. The neon signs and the half-blown streetlights do little to cut through the oppressive smog that permeates the environment. If you hadn't been here before in the past, you'd assume that there's a large structure fire somewhere causing all the air pollution, but this is just what life is like for every day for these people. So you step out, and again, much more squalid, there's still it's still an apartment block, it's still a complex. It's only, about 4 floors, or it's only about 3 floors as opposed to 4. Although the other ones around it are kind of an equal, similar size. So there's more people kind of jammed into tighter sections in this space. There's also no alleyways separating any of them. They're all just butted completely against each other, and the only real room is for transportation to come through, like streets. There's no not really a lot in the way of foot traffic other than a small walkway out in the front of the buildings. So you're out in front of your destination, which is section 4186 Block I.
Place is nasty.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
So we're looking for the dumpster?
Well,
Or does this place have the basement with the trash too?
Yeah, most of the tenement blocks in downtown are designed in a similar fashion. So even though this is dirtier, you would probably find a similar thing.
are we sure that's what it is?
No, not necessarily, but it's
Now that I'm seeing the area.
dark.
All right, so you head inside and you're looking for the basement and the trash compactor down there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to the basement of the building, and in the basement, again, is that same 6 square meter pit. But strewn around this hole in the floor is a waste of every kind. Trash, broken appliances, discarded food, and fluids that you don't really care to dwell any further on. There's a ladder that goes down into the pit, indicating some depth to the space, and you have some experience with it. But the huge pile of trash sits only about a foot below the edge. It is pretty highly filled to the brim. On the wall by the pit is a large red button that's surrounded by a striped yellow box. The button itself has about half of the red plastic broken off, and if it works at all, it looks like no one's pressed it in ages. The rats and mice that are milling around amongst the garbage keep a wide distance as you approach, more interested in an easy dinner than a fight.
What do we do?
Are we familiar with what this button is?
So you can gather that this is probably the button that would activate the compactor were it working, which, based on how full this thing is, you probably surmise that it's been broken for some time and never repaired.
Okay. So if we wanted to search, we'd have to climb down into the
Yes.
heap of stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to dig through the garbage.
Well, this sounds like a Thursday night for me, going down to the garbage.
All right. Fair Shrek climbs down, heads into the garbage pit, and starts to dig around. Does anybody join him?
I'm gonna go pretend
What was that, Patch?
I'm gonna go inspect the button.
Okay.
Obviously not touching it, but inspecting, looking around it.
Okay.
Mainly to avoid going into the pit, but also in case it's rigged to anything.
Okay, gotcha. Anybody else joining for Shrek or doing anything different?
Yeah, I'll start digging.
I gave that life up.
All right, Raukka does not go in. Reggie.
I would probably help investigate the technical stuff, the button and that kind of thing,
Okay.
with my technical knowledge.
Okay. So Reggie and Patch, you go over and you look through the button, and just as you kind of confirm your suspicions, this would normally be the thing that activates the compactor, but you do notice that the wiring on it had been chewed through by something at some point, and it doesn't appear to work. Reggie, as you're kind of like looking it over and scanning, you're kind of surmise that it probably doesn't work. And Patch, you would probably press the button just to see, at which point it does nothing. So it remains completely inert and dead. For Shrek and Redcap, go ahead and have one of you give me a detect check to dig through the garbage. You get an additional +1 because of the assistance from the other.
Okay, so I have 3 dice at a +4 on detect. Hold on, do I still have good hearing?
I think you do.
Yes, I do.
All right, I'll give you an additional bonus for your good hearing.
Is your detect higher?
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Minus.
Your
Mine is 1 rank at +7.
1 rank +7. Okay, that's weird. Damn. Can we use my dice and his bonus?
No, unfortunately, no. Your concentration is 6, Bill?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh, it's 4.
Oh, it's 4?
Yeah, I don't know why I have 7.
Okay, so your bonus would be...
Oh, wait. Detect, I'm sorry, it's 2 and 6. I was looking at something else.
So 2 dice at a +6 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we'll use his. Does he get a +1 due to my hearing?
No, he'll get a +1 total. You can't... If you make the roll, you'll get the +1, but you can't carry your good hearing over to him.
So roll.
Yeah, his thing's better.
Okay. All right, and you said you added 6 into that, Bill?
Yeah.
All right, so that looks like you succeeded, and then 2 skill die successes, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with that, you two spend probably about another 15 minutes or so kind of running through this. This smell didn't particularly bother either of the two of you. I mean, it's pretty bad, but Silver, you're so heartily engineered that there's nothing that's really going to make you queasy. And for Shrek, you've woken up in a couple of these piles a few times, so it's not a huge deal to you either.
I think I found my couch in this one.
So you rut your way through, and then you dig your way through all the way to the bottom because you figure that's where it's going to be. And then once you get down there, you pull some things aside, and then you find another similar box like the one that you found at the bottom of the water tower. And then as you kind of lean down to examine it, you hear a clunk, and then you start to hear like the slow grinding of machinery around you.
I try to get out of there.
Okay. You scramble for the edge. You climb up easily. You hit the ladder, and you get up and you get out.
I say I found it, but it's start. I think I activated it. I think I turned it on.
Yeah, and the rest of you around hear that same thing, like clunk, clunk.
We'll stop it. We need to stop it. I hit the button.
Oh, the button does nothing.
You want me to? You guys want me to try to disarm this thing?
Yes, please.
Can I assist him?
Was that Raukka?
Can I reach down and like pull for Shrek out?
Yeah, just for Shrek has shown no indication that he wants to leave at this point.
Someone needs to disarm this.
He was gonna help me.
Get down here and help me before I die.
Yeah, and for Shrek, yes, you can assist.
Shut down all trash compactors on the detention level.
All right, so Reggie, you climb down into the trash pile.
Yeah, I guess if there was a bomb found and it's been activated, I gonna have to.
Okay. So you get down in there, and the smell is absolutely overwhelming. As bad as it smelled in the basement, it smells 10 times worse in this pit, to the point where it is incredibly difficult to focus. You are trying your best not to throw the fuck up while you make your way over, and you see at the bottom of this the similar thing that you did at the water tower. Small box, some wiring coming out of it. The wiring this time looks a little bit more sophisticated, but the build is very similar. But it's changed just enough that you don't think you'd be able to duplicate the exact same process as you did with the water tower device.
But I can do it.
You can attempt to.
I can attempt to. Sorry, I guess I kind of missed what you were saying. It's different. It's a different type of
So
bomb.
basically, it's just you couldn't do the exact same thing you did with the water tower and have it work. Like, it's still going to be a challenge to deactivate this, made more difficult by the smell around you. So you will be able to attempt it, and you will have an option for you will have success. It will just be. It will be slightly more. It will be more difficult for you, mainly because of the smell that's surrounded around you. And you can tell that when he built these, he built them so you couldn't just do the same thing and figure it out for the rest of the bombs. He built them slightly differently, but it's of a similar construction. So you can attempt it, but mainly the biggest difficulty challenge that you're going to find is the fact that it is absolutely fucking disgusting down here, and it's going to be very difficult for you to focus on it.
Okay. And for Shrek is helping me.
For Shrek is assisting. For Shrek, you notice that Reggie is trying very hard not to throw up. He's having a lot of difficulty down here.
He can hold my nostrils for me. My beak nostrils.
I take up, I don't know, some crushed up like menthol filters and stuff them into his nostrils.
All right. Shrek, for Shrek, stuff's effectively garbage into your nose. Garbage is garbage. It all smells terrible to you. But he's trying his best to help.
It's filters from menthol cigarettes, so now all he smells is mint and ash.
And garbage. Because it's been sitting in a pile.
Before.
All right, so...
Did we decide that... Did we decide that I could use my maintenance kit for this?
Yes.
To get the +1? Yes?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I said that before.
Okay. So you're going to be making the roll?
Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Can I do it now? I'm going to do it now.
Go right ahead.
You ready? You ready?
Ooh.
Yeah. It's good and bad at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
So the total bonus would be... I have an 8. I got the +1 for the maintenance kit, and then whatever if for Shrek helps.
Okay, so plus...
Not.
So plus 10 total. Okay. So that will give you... Okay, so that will give you the success on the actual success die, and then 1 skill success. So you kind of like... You close your eyes, you try and hold your breath as much as you can, and then you really almost try and, like, do this more by feel than by sight, because if you, like, you're just trying to deprive yourself of as many senses as possible so you don't get overwhelmed by this, and you feel your way...
For Shrek sees this, realizes that, there's a good chance he might die, so he can move as fast as possible and pull both of them out. He just shoots up another thing of rush right there.
Got it. Okay, so you bounce up another hit of rush. Did you take one this morning as well? Because I don't think we...
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
I mimed it out on camera.
Okay, so you're on your 2 for the day. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So as you're doing that just to try and get as much of a feel as possible, or as to try and get out of here as quickly as you can. Reggie kunk and pulls it, and then at that point the machinery in the room just stops. Like everything just kind of like goes to silence at that point.
Ah, great! I have an erection for nothing.
And then I exhale, but I don't re-inhale very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, Reggie kind of like pulls this thing up. That also, again, same thing, allows the bomb to lift up from the floor. It was magnetized again, and then you scramble out of there as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
All right, so you scramble out. You kind of clamber up the ladder. You get out of the side. Who is holding the pig bomb? Whose bag was that in?
Not Patch.
Reggie, were you holding that?
I think it was.
For Shrek? Okay.
I seem to have a death wish. Sure.
So as you get up out of the pit, you feel the small bag you have that has it in there starting to hum against you. So indicating that now it is active.
Well, lads, I'm armed. Let's fix it.
Yep.
Okay. I guess I gotta disarm this thing too.
Back to work.
Yep, so you pull it out, you set it down, and then Reggie, go ahead and give me another check.
But I at least can breathe up here, right? Because I'm away from the garbage
It's
now.
still bad, but compared to where you were before, you can barely notice it at this point.
Hey, why don't we wait
With
until
my
we find the
my.
Hang on. Raukka?
Oh wait, yeah. Why don't we wait until we find the other one before we?
Because this one's ticking.
Yeah.
Because they have to be disarmed in order. So the fact that this started as soon as that one went kind of indicates that we were right about the order, right?
Yeah, and we don't know how much time is on them.
Well, it'll still give us more time, and it's not like it's gonna blow up.
Do we know that it's not going to blow up?
Didn't you see that it didn't have a
Right, but now it does.
payload? Paul, isn't that
I
what you
don't-
said, that it didn't have a payload in it?
There is, based on your examination of it previously, it did not appear to have any sort of explosive mechanism, like any sort of explosive payload connected to it.
Yeah, it just turns on the hot plate.
Okay, so we go to the fourth location, disarm it at the fourth location.
Just in case that's
give us
a trap,
some-
'cause I
yeah.
have a bad feeling about this.
All right. Well, I'll
Do-
hold it
do-
till then.
Are we able to tell that it's not gonna like just blow up by like moving it or something at this point?
I mean, based on your
I
prior
guess
assessments,
I don't personally understand bombs, so I don't even know what payload means.
It
To be
means
honest
the thing
with you,
that go-
'cause I
it
don't-
means the thing
as
that goes
a person,
boom.
don't understand bombs.
it's not meant to explode. So from a metagame
Okay.
perspective and your knowledge of bombs, this, based on your prior assessment, which you do believe to be solid, is not rigged to explode. This thing will not, if it
It's
goes
just
off,
rigged to
it
like
is not.
heat up or something.
Presumably, you've kind of, based on your prior discussions, surmised that this was meant to cook the pig. So heat up, literally, physically trigger the heating element, which would heat the pig.
Okay.
So you decide to hold
I
on
just
to
want to
it.
make sure that for Shrek's not going to explode on our way over to the next
Well,
one.
I mean, because of the bomb, probably not, but any other methods.
Yeah,
still.
his heart may explode.
I mean, he might explode from something else, but
Yes. Yeah.
that's okay.
My heart rate's at 350. I'm fine.
All right. So.
It's okay. My best friend is a prophet. I know all about him. It's all good.
All right. So you head out of the apartment block out to the street. Alan is still there waiting for you in the taxi.
So, the 32298 is the last one?
That's correct.
we tell him we want to go, correct?
Okay.
Yep.
He hightails it over there. And it takes... This one takes... so it's one section above... or actually, so you're going from 4 to 3. So it's one section up. And this takes probably about a half hour. It runs into a little bit of traffic. But he gets you up to where you're going.
I keep asking if it's heating up, if the thing's heating up.
It doesn't appear to be at this point.
So is this like a payphone? Are there payphones? Is that a thing that exists here? Or is it like when you find out a person's name?
What's that? What'd you say?
I'm just asking, is a payphone a thing in this universe? Or is it not that literal?
No, you'd have cell phones and things like that. Where did you get...
I'm talking about the clue, like calling. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what that means.
No payphones.
Like, because I don't know, do payphones exist in this universe of some sort?
Gotcha. No, there would be like phones people would have in their apartments, and there are cellular phones as well. No, there are no like payphones and things like that. So that's...
Miss Henry's son.
Mailboxes where there's like the names of the people that live there or something.
Okay, so you actually you get out to here, so I'll just describe where you're coming from. So while the general surroundings of this level are not the worst you've seen today, the building you approach is by far in the most disrepair. The concrete facade is crumbling to the point where you can see into the apartments of some of those inside who are near the outer walls. What remains of the building's interior is covered in crude graffiti, both in terms of content and artistic ability. Of all the places you've been today, the aura of this building is the most ominous.
I knew it was a trap.
It's haunted.
Ghosts. All right. So
Ghosts.
So you go into the lobby and you start to look across the mailboxes. Give me a detect roll, Reggie.
Sure.
DM, let me know when I start to catch fire from the hot plate.
Yep, you got it.
So,
Okay.
it's a 3, so that's 5 dice?
Yes, correct.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
So I have that one is my +9. I also have a motion detector kit thing that adds a +1, so it's technically a
Motion
plus
detector will
10,
not help
even
you
though
read
it's a
names on
1.
mailboxes. But you get a +9.
Okay. That.
If you have luck, you can spend it and re-roll your ones.
Yes, and you do have a point of luck, I believe.
Yeah, I
So for the luck,
have one single point of luck.
So for the luck, you can spend a point of luck to re-roll either your success die, all of your skill dice, or you can spend it as like a 1-for-1. So you could give, something, all of your dice a +1, I believe. Obviously not helping you here, but
So re-rolling the success die would be the thing I want
probably,
to do, right?
yeah. So if you want to spend your point of luck to do that, then you can go ahead and do so.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so just roll 1d10, and then we'll take the other 4. Okay, so that's 15 then, with your +9 for you to detect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you kind of look through the different things, you kind of look through, and the names on them are just basically like paper labels that are like attached to the different boxes. And you go through and you're looking, Henry, and you don't see anything on the first pass through. But then as you kind of look through again, you see what looks like half of an R and then a Y, and then the rest of it is torn off. And Box that is over is for apartments 225.
I guess we probably should, well, is there anything in the box, or you
Box is locked.
can't see it?
Yeah, and you can't see inside. So unless you're gonna try and break into it, then
But I guess we probably should go to that apartment.
Well, should we just arm the hot plate bomb first?
So as you're going through that, you do hear out of your bag for Shrek like a ringing of an alarm clock, and then you feel your bag starting to get warmer, indicating that the bomb has fired.
Oh no, we failed.
Well, we'll dump it out and cut the hot plate in half with my power claymore.
Okay, so yeah, there's a ringing of an alarm clock, and then First Rec just takes out the hot plate, sets it on the ground, and then just like pulls out his claymore and goes woof into the thing, thoroughly destroying it, and denting up his claymore a little bit in the process.
I took a laser sharpener to it. It's
yeah, you may need to again after this.
yeah.
Okay.
It was fine.
Okay, so so the third bomb has fired off, indicating that the fourth one is probably live at this point.
Right, so
Let's go quick.
I guess we need to go to 225.
All right. So you start to move up to you head upstairs, and you stand in front of the door to apartment 225.
Is it locked?
You check the doorknob. The door is locked. Yes.
We don't know if kicking in the door would set something off.
I can lockpick it, but
You can
I
lock
think we could knock first and make sure there's nobody in there first. If you want.
Yeah, rough it.
I draw my gun.
Okay.
Right,
Raukka, what were you doing?
Just knocking.
Okay.
We're all arguing about how to open the door.
Okay. Yeah. So they
But
have a
I
discussion.
want us to, like, knock.
Yep.
Knock first, and then.
Yep. So Raukka takes your lead and knocks on the door. There is no response.
You want me to pick it?
Sure.
Yeah, but be careful, because I'm thinking back to the first bomb. It was right next to the door.
Mm. That's fair. Do we hear anything if I put my
Nope.
ear up to
It's
the door?
completely silent. But you do hear the running of a TV. So there is like a TV that's running in the background, which again for downtown TVs are not meant to shut off. So this is common, but there is no other noise inside.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hear any ticking or anything right next to the door, so.
And since you do have your motion device with you, there is no motion inside as well.
So what do you guys think? Should I pick the lock, or do you think I'm gonna explode if I do that?
What do we know about the window? Well, there's probably no way to get through a neighbor's apartment and out and through a window, so no. Yeah, picking the lock's probably the best idea.
Well,
Or we can go through another apartment and go.
nice knowing you all in case
through
I
the
do.
wall. I like the through the wall approach, but I'm pretty sure the neighbors wouldn't.
Where's Slay? Slay mistreats the poor all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, but we want these people to become fans.
I can pick the lock.
Pick the lock.
Silver,
Okay.
did you, or Red Cap, did you say you can pick the lock?
I'm gonna kick the door in.
Do you go just
What?
do you just
Listen and start picking the lock.
Well, that's happening.
do you
We're on I say I'm just gonna kick it in unless you guys pick it.
time to pick it or
No,
kick?
yeah, I will. I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah,
I couldn't understand
pick
what
it.
everyone was saying.
Yeah, pick it
I am-
as Pat walks to the end of the hall.
I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and give me the lockpick check. This is a manual lock. What's the bonus on it?
Bonus is a 7. I do have a lockpick hit, which is a +1.
Okay.
So that'd be 8.
Okay, so 18, 10, and 11. Okay. You get the lock open without much trouble. And as you do, you can you open it, you turn it over, and because you picked it pretty easily, you're able to kind of just like open it slightly just to make sure that you don't like hit any tripwires or anything like that. You get it open enough to the point where you can see that the the ingress is clear, so you don't you know it's safe to go inside.
Okay.
Okay, so you open it up.
As slowly and carefully as possible, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You open the door to Owen Henry's apartment and quickly find out why he didn't answer. Hooked to the piping overhead is a long leather strap, and on the end of that strap is poor Owen, hanging by his neck about a foot off the ground. Looks like he put on the cleanest clothes he owned for the occasion. Crisp, unripped jeans and a black t-shirt with a fresh printing of the album art from the most recent Missing Faces record is on the front. His feet are bare, his toes are pointed downward at the floor as though reaching for the boards.
How long has he been dead?
You have anything in forensics or anything like that?
No.
I do. And
Yeah.
this patch, right?
Yeah.
What's the rank in forensics among the two of you? This is probably gonna be passive.
My rank in forensics, 2 skills, so a total of 5. Or with a 5. Total
Okay,
of 5
so
points.
yeah, the skill as well as. Do you have higher than 2 skill in forensics, Reggie?
No, it's just a 1.
Okay. Pat, you look him over, and you. Actually, you know what? This one's kind of important. Give me a check on it.
Okay.
Oof.
So 15, 13.
11.
Yeah, 11 and 7.
Okay. So, based on your assessment, it appears that he's probably been dead a few days. So probably 2 to 3 days, somewhere in there. But as you're going through, because of the skill die successes, you do notice that the buckling of the pipe that this is hooked to indicates a heavier load than Owen appears to be.
Oh.
Bomb is on him.
No, I'm thinking this might not have been a suicide. It might have been someone pulled down on him, or somehow there was something attached to him that weighed him down. But I'm thinking something pulled down on him.
While he's doing that, can I kind of like search around, make sure,
Sure.
like see if I can figure out where the bomb is?
Okay.
Yeah, that might be important.
With my good hearing, can I do a separate search for the sound?
I'm gonna say for Shrek, with your good hearing, you are going to be able to hear as you get close to Owen's body. There is a humming from inside him.
Well, the lad's ready to blow.
This is like a saw trap here, huh? Live or die, make your choice.
Well, Sir Reginald, after you.
If it's inside.
I mean, I can disarm the bomb, but I'm not chopping into somebody to get to it, so somebody else is gonna have to do
You're so
that.
squeamish. I'm assuming there's some type of scalpel or cutting instrument in my med kit. If not, I've got a knife.
Yeah, you will have the proper. You have a scalpel in there.
So can I use medical to kind of do precision scalpel cuts
Sure.
where I need?
Yeah. You leaving him hanging up, or are you taking him down?
I'm leaving him hanging up right
Okay.
now.
So you.
Difficult, but-
Yep. So you go ahead and you set your kit down. You pull out your scalpel and you grab the neck of the t-shirt and cut away at that first. And once you do see that there is like his pale torso has been stitched up from like collarbone down to below his navel. And so you just basically undo those stitches. You don't even need to cut through flesh. Boop, 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 boop. And then you spread his torso open, and where his entrails were, there is a significantly large explosive device in him that looks larger than the other things you've handled. And even from a few feet away, Reggie, you can tell that there is definitely explosive material in this. This is probably the big bomb that you saw in the prints that you went through in your in your initial search of the apartment.
Okay. Yeah, fun. So I guess we're gonna have to disarm this thing.
Again, Reggie looking fairly squeamish and put off by the circumstances in the environment in which the bomb is located. As a matter of fact,
having studied it, would I be able to? Do I think I can disarm this?
Yes, but I think I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to give me a fear check on this because of the situation. I just need to look that up very quick.
Do I notice Reggie getting squeamish and like shaky?
Unquestionably, yes.
I pull out my boopa, load a dose of Mind Numb, and just offer it to him if he needs it.
Okay.
I thought you were just gonna stab it.
Just jam it in him. I thought that's what he was gonna do too.
No, I'm not savage. Here. Either line up or shoot up.
All right. So fear tests. So do you take the mind numb?
Would I know? I mean, I would know enough about it to know what it does. What does it do? Or like, it's not like addicting or whatever.
I mean, anything's
It's
addicting
like
if you take it enough times. But one dose of something will probably not cause you to become addicted to it. That removes. You don't need to make fear checks for a certain period of time, right, Simon?
Then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he started like bumping it every day, like these shivers who go to the cannibal sector,
Well, I would
addicted.
I mean, Reggie would know. I'm just saying, out of character, I don't know.
The addiction rating, you'd have to make an addiction check every 26 doses. So it is very low. Low risk for addiction. So taking it once will not. No, you will be fine.
Yeah, it's just one hit. It won't hurt you.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Like I said, my best friend's a frother. I'm familiar with this stuff.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Okay. All right. So for Shrek, lines up his Bupa kit, his Bupa injector. Was that Patch?
Raukka and Redcap. We should probably make sure there's nobody in any of the adjoining rooms. Try to get people out of here just in case.
Okay.
Just in case I die horribly.
Yeah.
There's no fire alarm in here?
Is there a fire alarm in the hall?
Yeah, there's a fire alarm.
Yeah, go pull the fire.
I will pull the fire alarm.
Okay. You walk over, and the fire alarm you do break the handle off on, but you do cause it to go off first. So it rings out, and people start to pile out of it. Does anybody have any ranks in like SLA info or any appropriate like lore along those lines?
I've got SLA info.
Okay, so prior to pulling it, you are cognizant of the fact that pulling this fire alarm will cause the fire shivers to come to the building, which not necessarily a bad thing, but something you are aware of. And fire shivers are, of everybody, they will do absolutely anything and everything to get to the source of the fire, and will go through anything and anyone to get to it. with their vehicles. So anytime they are on the scene, anything in its path better get the fuck out of the way or it gets run down. So it is a serious thing to signal a fire.
Would I be able to call them?
So you want to like put through the station analysis that you're pulling the trigger on this, and that's the situation?
Yeah, basically I'm like, just get to dispatch and be like, I'm pulling this fire alarm to evacuate people, but there's no fire. We are working on removing a bomb.
Okay, so you call that through on the comm channel to station analysis. After about 30 seconds or so, you get a response. As you can almost get the sense that somebody's like kind of like putting on a headset, like they were kind of like looking at something else or distracted in some other way, and they come over to you. They're like, okay, Roger that. We will let the fire shippers know the situation. You are clear to evacuate.
Okay.
Okay, so you pull it down. Ring, bells ring. Yep. So you break off the fire alarm. Bells go off. People start piling outside. So people are evacuating from the building.
Okay.
Okay. So Reggie, yeah, you're whereas before you could feel your little bird heart beating in your chest. Everything is just kind of slowed down and calmed out, and you're almost kind of just able to like block out the surroundings around the bomb entirely. It doesn't even really particularly affect you at this moment. You're not focusing on anything around it, just the device itself.
I'm imagining some of my music in my head to get my mind off of stuff.
Okay.
So I'll do my roll.
Okay. This one for Shrek is not going to be able to assist you on based on the fact that it is so enclosed that only one of you can get near it. So you're on your own.
Well, I'm going to go raid this guy's fridge for my potential last meal.
Okay. So go ahead and make the roll when you're ready, Reg.
No, it's the worst possible roll.
When you used your luck already.
+9. Yeah. I mean, it's a +9.
Yeah. So as you're going through, you're kind of just mellowed out. You're zoned in, and you're kind of just zoned out. Yeah, like, and you go ahead and you go to dismantle one of the wires, but as you're doing that, you kind of slip and hit another one, and when you do, the humming for it starts to get considerably louder, and like it's starting to ramp up and like start from a low pitch to like.
Shit. I have good hearing. I can hear this.
Yeah.
Is there a window?
Is there a window? Yes, there is. You're on the second floor.
I have a 4.
But you're just gonna jump out and leave me to explode?
No, I have a 4 strength. Can I just yeet the body out the window?
So you're gonna try and pull this thing down and then throw it out the window? Do you have any ranks in throwing?
No, but I can like it's just grab body, walk to a window, and push.
Yeah.
I mean, you have skill in like demolitions. Like, is that at all helpful in this situation as opposed to like throwing and exploding into the street?
Yeah, can I use demo to like not blow this thing up in my face?
Well, so based on the little bit of reaction time you have, and the experience
I am rushed, so
sure, good point. So based on that and the fact that you're jazzed up pretty hardcore, you have a few options. Run and hope you get far enough away. You can try and throw this thing out, but it's heavy and that's going to be difficult, and it might blow up in your hands at that point. Or you could theoretically take one more crack at stopping this thing as opposed to it going off. You can tell, based on your demolitions experience, that this thing is arming. Like, it is firing up, but you still have a small window where you may be able to stop it.
I mean, that sounds like the better option to me, but...
You have to decide.
I'm gonna go for it. I have a point of luck left.
Okay, so you're gonna try and disarm it? Alright, give me the roll. Demolitions.
I'm double checking if I have two or one in that.
I believe you have one.
Yes, one.
So you're gonna be rolling 3 dice, and you're gonna be adding in your bonus.
Okay. So that's an 11.
Okay.
And 13 and a 7.
Are you spending any luck?
I'm going to do the luck where I just bring it up one. Where I just bring it up one across the board.
Okay, actually, let me just double check something quick on luck. Here, hang on a second. I just wanna double check something very quickly here. No, not replace. Oh, that's what.
Well, at least I mind numbed Reggie, so he doesn't have to die screaming.
No.
Alright. Sorry, I'm just looking up the stat for a look here. I just want to see if you get to see the result of it before deciding. Or if you just have to make the roll first. Come on, you motherfucker.
I think you can see the result. Of course, I have like 2 or 3 systems in my head, so...
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking. Alright, look. Deep. Come on. Look, reading points. Natural action stats. Okay. There it is. Luck stat is used throughout the game. Character has space for 2 villains. Alright. One above the roll. Luck replenishes itself. Character has space for 2 values. Maximum for luck. Alright. 1 point of luck spent after a roll has been made. Reroll a success die, reroll any skill die. Multiple points of luck can be spent. So, okay. Alright, so Alright, so based on the example I see here, it does appear that you do get to know the result. The roll as is would be a success. So you will succeed in that. So playing this all out, Reggie kind of chills out, is going through, hits a wire by mistake as he's trying to defuse it, and then you all start to hear that, and Reggie's like, what? And then Fishwreck comes in and just shoves Reggie out of the way, leans over, and yoinks and pulls something out, and then and it stops.
Reggie?
You saved me!
First, Shrek is going to crawl up in the fetal position, start crying like a 12-year-old because his PTSD just regressed him back to 12 years old.
All right, take a ratings point for that, by the way. Patch, you were in there. Raukka, Redcap, you come back in and you see him there. You see all of this kind of unfold, and it happens like that, like very, very quickly, to the point where like you think for sure that you're dead for a split second, and then for Shrek just comes in, takes charge, stops his thing, and everything is just quiet except for two sounds: the sound of the TV and the sound of for Shrek's crying.
Oh yeah, no, he's like up against the wall, knees tucked into his chest, wanting his ma and da. Like he's not okay.
Yeah, so for Shrek is just babbling, calling for his parents, crying, and is pretty.
I go over and try to comfort him.
All right.
What's on TV?
There's some contract circuit repeats. The death of Redcap is being played.
Oh no! The sad.
Whatever in the fetal position, crying.
Okay, well, baby Shrek knows that SLA agents are good, and they're here to get him home.
All right, so do you like full on like approach your colleagues as though you're a child and they're like rescuing you from this?
Yep, and
Okay.
he's like, yeah, and he's wondering if the other kids are okay, and they weren't.
Okay, so yeah, Shrek starts saying all
I
these
have
things.
knowledge in psychology, so I tried to calm him down and be helpful.
Okay. You sit down and console him, and so Reggie kind of goes down by for Shrek and kind of tries to calm him down. But then in the din of all this, you realize that these are four, as far as you can tell, this is the end of this friggin' nightmare for you, all at this point.
Yep.
Hopefully, we still haven't found the guy that did it.
What do you all do?
Once I see that Reggie's kind of trying to take care of her Shrek, I'm going to actually start like looking in the pockets of the corpse hanging from the
Okay. Pockets
ceiling.
are empty. Again, it looks like, based on your kind of forensics, you're assessing this scene. It looks like this guy was definitely murdered. The trauma around his neck seems to be all post-mortem. So he was killed through some other method. Although you don't see any other bullet holes or stab wounds or anything like that in him, it's entirely impossible that the initial cut was part of what had split him open to begin with. So he was presumably killed some other way, hanged up here, probably changed into these clothes because of the blood that would have been caused. But based on, again, and Reggie, once you calm down for Shrek, you kind of start to talk things out with Patch, and based on all this information, you can determine that the person who would go through these lengths, even beyond everything else that you've been put through, is very disturbed and dangerous, even more so than the other previous things would lead you to believe. This person is violent, and is a killer, and whereas the other ones were really meant to just harm the person trying to disarm them or troll the person in the case of the pig bomb, this thing was meant to level this building.
Right.
Yep. I only took mental illness 1, so
Yeah,
I don't know how.
You come back around. Reggie helps kind of shake you out of it, and you kind of come back to and center yourself and level out. Plus, the rush kind of helps you shake it off a little bit quicker too. Anyways.
We're alive.
Is there anything else around the room, like another note, maybe?
No, there is nothing else. You spend some time going over the apartment, and there are no other clues, notes. Everything points to this actually being the residence of this person, and there does not appear to be any sort of connection with this person and Terrence Wolforth or anything along those lines. No traces back to Dark Knight. You go through his phone. There are a variety of missed calls from his mother. And that's it.
I mean, I would call the mom.
Okay.
I wouldn't tell her exactly what happened to him. I would just...
Okay. You notify the mother. Obviously, she's upset and saddened, but you provide her with the information. If you prompt her about any questions regarding the scenario, she has no additional information for you.
Does his phone have any further information as far as someone who recently contacted him?
Beyond his mother and some calls from a few friends you kind of trace out and quickly vet based on combinations of calling the numbers, checking with station analysis, and doing your own research. Everybody appears to be on the level. This guy was just really in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Are there cameras anywhere around this area?
No.
Or that's too dilapidated to have
Yeah,
cameras?
unfortunately, the cameras in this one, again, unreliable. So there's no information. Where you're at this point, and based on your procedures, you recognize that at this point, the BPN, you can consider reporting your findings, and you'll probably have to write up a report, being the leader to station analysis. But this is where, based on your training, you would know that this is probably going to be an additional BPN for somebody, whether it's you or someone else down the line. Your best move at this point is to turn the information along with any of the evidence you've collected into station analysis, and then they'll take it from there. As far as everything is concerned, you've done your job. You've satisfied the BPN, including the investigation leads to it. You have satisfied that. This is clearly going to be a bigger case than just some random guy. This is someone who is probably a serious threat and will need further consideration and maybe even a security clearance bump in terms of who's going to need to look into this.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he may
Make sure you add
rig up a car.
pizza delivery guy.
What was that?
Because he actually saw this dude. Then make sure you add that pizza delivery guy in there, because he actually got eyes on the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And for Shrek, what were you going to say?
I mean, well, yeah, he's got to be something. He managed to rig up a carny pig by himself.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Okay, so you call in the shiver units to kind of like clean this scene up, get everybody back into their houses and everything like that, and then you head back to the BPN hall in Mort Central. It is fairly into the evening at this point, with all the running around you've been doing and the different things, different scenes. So you turn in the BPN, you collect your rewards, which you do get the full payment of it. Because, really minimized collateral damage. You did drain the water tower, but you didn't damage it permanently, so they're not going to deduct anything for you as a result of that. So you will receive the full payment of 200 credits per operative, and you will take a 0.2 increase to your SCL. And you, Reggie, we'll handle your report and whatnot afterwards, because we can do a check for that, and there can be some additional things that'll come out from there. But then beyond that, as far as experience goes, everybody take 2 points. And instead of me deciding, would any of you like to nominate anyone to receive an extra experience point?
I think my vote would go for
I'm
Simon.
gonna nominate Sabrina for that one.
Okay, so we got one vote for Sabrina. You're voting for Simon?
Yeah.
Simon?
Well, I'm not going to vote for myself, so Sabrina.
Matt?
Simon had the clutch play, but Sabrina did most of the heavy lifting on all the other bombs, so definitely Sabrina.
Okay, Sabrina, take 3 experience. Everyone else take 2.
Thank you very much, all. I'm glad that we didn't get killed.
All right.
You. Hey.
All right.
We didn't blow up, so it's a success.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up here. It's about 10 o'clock, so we hit our deadline. I suspect I'll see all of you in the pit later, presumably. And if anybody's checking out the stream, thank you for watching. If you're watching the YouTube video, thank you for your time. And same time next week. See all of you back here for then. Bye.
Bye.
Yes.